Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
I'm Justin Ham. Hi. I usually say "and I'm Justin Ham," but I didn't put the "and" in there.
I know it really threw me off.
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't really mean to. I just kind of did it that way. I'm really upset at the animated show Paw Patrol. Really upset at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I recently watched an episode of Paw Patrol. You may be asking yourself at home why I did that.
I am asking myself at home why you did that.
Yeah. Well, I don't really feel like telling you, so.
Oh, well, okay.
No,
Seems
I'm over at Kim's house a lot nowadays, and she plays cartoons for her dog when she leaves as just like a noise thing. I don't know.
No, I get it. My mom would always leave the TV on for the
Yeah,
pets
we do it
whenever
for
we
our
leave.
dogs too. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a thing. But she plays cartoons, and she recently let her DirecTV run out because it was insane amount of money. I don't know why the hell she was paying for that, but she was, and so she needed a new source of cartoons. So Paw Patrol was on like Amazon Prime or whatever, so that's what was being played. So needless to say, I woke up one morning and was just like, well, Paw Patrol's on. Guess I'm gonna watch it. And the episode that I watched, the episode in question was about a man, and he was baking cakes. He was baking cakes for, I think, some kind of contest. I will admit I didn't finish the episode, so bear with me a little bit. But there was some kind of contest going on. And there was two dogs that were in the Paw Patrol. One was a Dalmatian. He's the fire boy. He drives a fire truck or something. I don't really know what his deal is. But it makes sense.
That sounds like what his deal is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're like the Power Rangers, but dogs. Kind of.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they're all like color coded, and they all have, jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he was there, and there was another one. It's like the Paw Patrol is really weird. There's like, okay, there's the Dalmatian, that's the fire one. There's the girl, who is like the air support one, and then there's the cop dog, and then there's like two other ones.
The least favorite.
Yeah, there's like two other ones that are just there. Actually, I think the cop one's the leader, unfortunately. But
He's still the least favorite.
yeah,
that's just by default.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. But there's like two other ones that are just kind of there. So the other one was just one of the other two that are just kind of there. I don't really know what his deal is either. I didn't pay that good of attention. But so they're there, and the man's baking cakes, and these two members of the Paw Patrol are just fucking up, Julian. They are fucking up. Like royally fucking up. And this guy is like getting visibly upset that these dogs are fucking up. But they're talking dogs, so what is he going to do? Like
They're fucking up in the contest or around the contest?
No. They're trying to help him, but they are fucking up, man. Like they're like spilling his eggs all over the place. It's a bad time. It's a bad time for this guy. So they do something. They fuck up.
They should have called Parappa the Rapper instead of.
Really,
that's a better dog to help.
Really,
you
they
cook.
should have done something. Honest to God. But they're fucking up, right? Like they're causing a problem, and then he gets distracted because now his cake batter that he's been working on for this contest is now kind of ruined. And then he burns 2 other cakes in the oven due to this distraction that these 2 members of the fucking Paw Patrol have brought upon him. Now, what he does next is befuddling, because he's like, well, what am I gonna do? I gotta get these cakes for this fucking contest, or whatever the hell it was he was baking cakes for. I don't really know. I think it was a contest. And
Justin, are you on the marijuana again?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just checking.
Sometimes I wish, but no, I'm not. This is just me all the time, unfortunately. So now he's like, okay, all right, I don't know what to do. Everything's ruined. What do you guys think I should do? So he asked the 2 members of the Paw Patrol, and they're like, well, you should call the Paw Patrol. And I was like, why? They're part of the problem here. Why are we going to call them? And he's like, you're right, I should call the Paw Patrol. So he calls their human master. There's a boy that leads the Paw Patrol. He's like he's the guy that gives all the directions. He's the kid.
He's the Zordon.
Pretty much the Zordon, but like I don't really know what else he does. People out there that actually are fans of Paw Patrol are going fucking nuts on me right now. They're like, no, that's...
I hope that there is nobody in this audience that is a actual fan of Paw Patrol.
I really hope there is, Julian, and I hope they have answers for me. So they call the Paw Patrol. They call this kid, and he's like, "You're right. We'll be there in no time. We're gonna help you out." So they call the Paw Patrol, and then the 2 members that are there leave. They leave the scene of the crime essentially to go talk to this boy. I don't know how many miles away he was in this like weird Paw Patrol tower. And then they come back. And I was like, but they're the problem. You need to get rid of them. But it was very confusing. Like, why do they need to leave and then come back? Are the Paw Patrol like in disguise? Does nobody know they're the Paw Patrol? Is it like the Power Rangers? Like, nobody knew the Power Rangers were the Power Rangers. You know, they just had the watches or whatever. I'm guessing that's what it is, but like, how could you not figure it out? Like, oh, these 2 dogs told me to call the Paw Patrol. Then they disappeared, and then 2 identical dogs showed back up.
Well, okay. I actually do have like a question.
Okay.
Because they're talking dogs, but is that just a common thing in this world, or is it only the dogs that are in the Paw Patrol?
That's a great question. I only watched this half an episode, so I don't have an answer to you.
Okay.
I then had to go to work, so I didn't get to see the conclusion of this episode, but I was very upset that I was. Why would you call them? They're the problem. Like, right. Also, this seems like a huge waste of resources. Why are you calling in like fucking air support for your goddamn cake contest? This is insane. It's really upsetting.
All right, but Justin, hear me out.
No.
Listen, you talking about this, actually, I had a brainstorm.
Okay. Is it
you and I are going to come up with a new animated series.
Okay. What's it about?
It's set in Coburn, Virginia.
Okay. No, I like this.
And we can probably loop in like Jacob Washington on this to get like at least to consult, if not actually voice act.
I know a little bit about Coburn, Virginia, so I can also help.
Yes. So it's basically just a bunch of like middle-aged guys that kind of shuffle around and they shoot and they kind of they like to sit on the porch and drink, but they also
like to
are
climb
there in the
like to climb trees on occasion.
On occasion.
Just every now and then.
But they're also there to help the community.
Yeah.
As a type of almost Power Rangers-esque like outreach, and we call it the Paw Patrol.
Why would we call it?
Because they're just a bunch of paws.
So the problem with is it like PAH?
No, PA. Like paw.
Oh yeah.
Ma and Pa.
Okay. I think it works better if it's Papaw Patrol, because that's an actual.
Is that what the common parlance in Coburn, Virginia is?
For grandpas? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Papaw.
See, I was thinking more of like Pa Kent in Superman.
That works too. Nobody really calls them that down there. Like that's a different area. Like that's a different.
Okay, maybe we need to move the setting then.
Yeah.
I felt that I had something like, we could do some synergy with like
It's
Sweet
close.
Tea games and stuff like
close.
that.
I mean, Paw Control works for me. It's just, but it just has to be older dudes.
Yeah.
Which might even be better, really.
Yeah.
They just go walking at the community center, which was an old schoolhouse. They just do laps around there at 4 a.m. for no fucking reason. My grandpa was weird.
Do they hang out at Dairy Queen a lot in that?
There's
neck
no
of the
Dairy
woods?
Queen. There's the Frosty Bossy.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, in Texas, all of the well, I don't know if it's this way anymore.
Yeah.
But it used to be that Dairy Queen was the place to be if you were over the age of 65.
So the place to be for young people there was the Pizza Hut. That was the young people's hangout.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think the Pizza Hut is closed now. I haven't actually looked that up. But I'm trying to think of where the old people hang out there. They don't really hang out anywhere. There's nowhere to hang out there. That's the problem. They all just hang out on the porch. And then they migrate to other porches.
Right.
Yeah. So you'd save a lot of money on animation, I guess. Is this an animated thing? This is an animated thing. You did say that. Because background's pretty easy. You make like 5 porches. That's the entire show.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a 6th every now and then, because that's all anybody.
And they're mostly sitting on the porches, so
that's pretty much
there's not a lot of animation.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
all of the budget goes into the transformations.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
And you get to recycle that every episode,
right?
So.
Do they like? Okay, so what are they going to change into? Is like one of them like one of them's probably like a 1998 Chevy Silverado. But then again, it has to be. Well, they all should just be trucks, different kinds of trucks.
Oh, so I wasn't thinking like a transformer thing. I was thinking more of just like they have like uniforms.
Well, they drive them. They have vehicles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
One's like
I would say that just like good Papa type things, right?
Okay,
so there'd be like one that's like a mechanic.
So
one
a Chevy Avalanche. Let's see what else. Oh God, what cars have I seen?
There should probably be like a wood carver.
Yeah, well, that's a job. He needs.
Well, I'm talking about the jobs. Yeah,
okay, jobs.
And then we can pair the vehicle to the job.
Okay, one's good at gardening.
Okay.
Yeah, they like to garden there. They all have gardens of sorts.
Yeah,
because that goes back to their papas, and they like to garden. You never know when it's going to be bean season when you show up, Julian. Then you're just stringing beans for fucking hours. What else are you going to do? Not string beans? You're going to string beans. Stop acting like you're not.
I guess you probably do have to have
that's
a woman in the mix so she could be a canner.
Yeah, but yeah, sure, maybe. And it even kind of that'd be Mamaw. So that would work.
Yeah.
You can let's see what's I don't know, the women don't really work there. Somebody's got to be good at coal mining because that was what they did. They're good at mining things.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's just good at guns, probably. No, they're not good at shooting guns, Julian. They're good at buying and selling guns.
Okay.
They're good at buying and selling guns and pocket watches of some sort. I don't know. There's a lot of different options,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got something here.
Yeah, this isn't bad. It's not bad. I don't know if kids will like it, but I'll like it.
I mean, they don't. You just have to sit them in front of something that's colorful enough, and they'll.
Apparently, they can just be the cause of the problem and then show back up to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's befuddling. It's befuddles the rock. I don't know the whole thing. Paw Patrol.
I like the fact that like befuddled is your word of the week.
It's a good word.
It is a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, What is this? What are we doing?
Well, before we get this rig truly rolling, one announcement, which is that Mike Fallick's documentary, The Lawn Con, is officially released and on YouTube, and you can watch it now.
Good for him. That's good.
I will have a link in the show notes. I watched it. It is excellent. It was one of those things where, because like Mike, if you've ever like engaged with his art, it's very Mike Fallick.
Sure.
Like that's the only way that I can put it, right? Like he's got like a very distinct style in his animation, in his stop motion stuff, in his video game. But this was like the first time I think that I had watched something that he had filmed. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh goddamn, this is like a really well shot, like well edited.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, I guess what I'm trying to say, it didn't seem as avant-garde as like some of his other stuff is kind of what I'm getting at.
I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks and feels like any really well put together documentary that you're going to see on Netflix or something like that. Sure.
That's good.
And he has the comedian Chuck Nice as like the on camera, like, you know, narrator and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that's like a person that I know.
Yeah, that's good.
I was kind of expecting to be like all, you know, just people that, you know, are in like Mike's circle, and maybe Chuck Nice is in Mike's circle, but it was like a much bigger name than I was expecting to be associated with this project. But it's very funny, very entertaining, very educational. With a lot of things, a lot of it really, and at the end of the day, boils down to like, we just need to completely fundamentally change everything that we do, and it's, to me, it's not on us as individuals. It's that we need to tear down the entire system, in order to like build something new. But you know, I got to finish Death Stranding too, so I don't have that kind of time.
Who does?
But it's very good, and if you squint, well, not squint, that's the right. If you keep your ears open, you might notice a familiar person in parts of that documentary.
Is it Daryl Strawberry?
No, it's not Daryl Strawberry.
Oh, well, now I'm let down, but that's okay.
Yeah,
you know,
he's very pro lawn. It's a bad time. I think they tried to reach out to him, and he like pulled the bat out in a very menacing way.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see it. I mean, he's probably got land. Probably a landowner, Daryl Strawberry, probably. I imagine. You know,
yeah, probably grows strawberries on that land.
I doubt it. I bet he hates them. I bet he hates.
He probably does.
I would hate that. Yeah, same way I don't like ham. It's not a very good meat.
No, yeah. I have a friend who's an artist named Kristen Hogan, and she fucking hates Hulk Hogan, who that is like an excellent segue into
perfect
what I wanted to kick off the show with, which is that the week that we're recording this, there are actually a few people that passed, but the one that I was going to highlight was Ozzy Osborne.
Right. Yeah.
But then like a day or two later, Hulk Hogan also died.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting for me.
Okay.
Because Ozzy Osborne was a person who I didn't even really know anything about growing up, because my parents kept me so far away from that devil shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I didn't even know what Black Sabbath was or who Ozzy Osborne was. I think at a certain point, like maybe in my middle teens, I was dimly aware of. Oh, actually, it was South Park.
I was just going to say South Park probably
that was
did
probably,
it. Yeah.
Actually, I can say for sure, that was my first exposure to the name Ozzy Osbourne, was that episode of South Park. And that's all I knew about him.
Right.
But the thing is that I got into the show The Osbournes.
Yes.
Because I actually really enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? Like I know, like these are like devil people or whatever, but that's what I thought, because that's how I you know, raised. But like I was like, he's kind of like a pretty cool dad, and like considering like everything that they've been through, like they've kind of got like a surprisingly like healthy family dynamic.
I find it very fascinating that they both had reality shows at the same time, around the same time, Hogan and Osborne. Because
was it around the same time?
It was right around Hogan Knows Best was like right around the same time, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh,
I know the
name. To. It's terrible.
I'm sure. Yeah, I thought that would. But I don't know if that seems later than the Osbournes. But anyway, but at the end of the day, it turned out that like Ozzy Osbourne, pretty cool dude. And then when Guitar Hero came out, I discovered, you know, my first like Black Sabbath song, my first Ozzy Osbourne songs. And then I was like, man, I really like this. And, you know, it's really sad that he passed away. On the flip side of that, Hulk Hogan was someone that I was like encouraged to cheer for as a kid when I got into wrestling. Because even though he did have like the patriotic thing going on, which was not a part of my upbringing, like we were not that, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses are not patriotic. Yeah. There was still that really wholesome aspect of his character. And, you know, like if Optimus Prime, and it is like, you know, I've had like really complicated thoughts this week because, you know, if Optimus Prime was my first hero, Hulk Hogan was my second. Sure. Yeah. And then Superman was probably my third as I got into comics and stuff that. You know, let's take the stuff that I learned later away. Right. He was always a bad wrestler. It's kind of amazing how bad at wrestling he actually was. Yeah. To be like that big and that powerful and not have anything in your move set that shows how big and powerful you are. Yeah. And your finisher is like the lamest leg drop you've ever seen is still kind of phenomenal to me. It worked. And that's the thing is that like he was like the epitome of a pro wrestler putting all of their points into charisma. Yeah. And nothing else anywhere else. Yeah. Because I do think that The Rock and John Cena later on are like the improved evolutions of that, where it's like they're both extremely charismatic, but they can also actually wrestle a good match. They can actually do pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. The Hulk Hogan theme song still, like if that hits, like it does something to me. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It hits me with a wave of nostalgia and like longing that is like really hard to describe. But at the end of the day, super racist piece of shit. Kept a lot of people that were probably really deserving of shots at the spotlight under his foot. Yeah. Went full on mask off MAGA at the last couple years. Yeah. Just one of the worst people. My favorite Hulk Hogan bit is that like when he came back to wrestling. And he wasn't like really back, but the like WWE was kind of like, let's try to get Hogan back in here and do something. I don't know. So he kind of went on this like weird redemption thing in WWE for like a very, very short time, if you want to call it that. But he was backstage and he had like a big meeting with everybody in WWE, you know, like the New Day's there and all this stuff, because like he obviously said, it's okay then. Yeah. Obviously said some racist shit. No, it wasn't okay. They were like pissed about it. So this is his chance to make it up to me. He's on his redemption tour. He's going to do a good job. And the big thing that he wanted to get across to the kids in the wrestling industry is like, hey, if you're going to say some fucked up shit, just make sure nobody's recording you, okay? That was the takeaway. That's what he learned. That's what he learned. And there was not really an apology. It was just like, hey, look, I know I said some fucked up shit, but if you're in that situation, you know, cameras are everywhere nowadays, guys. Just be sure nobody's recording you because, you know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know, Terry. I don't know if that's what you need to take away from all this, but you know, God bless. Oh boy. No, but because at the end of the day, he deep down, I'm sure, did not feel that he ever said anything wrong. Yeah, and he's just also, like, well, you know, brother, these new kids, they just don't understand how things were back in the day, bro. That's just how things were. Yeah, yeah, they're one of those. Also crushed. Basically the beginnings of what would have been a wrestling union that Jesse Ventura was trying to put together. Yes, I did hear about that as well. Yeah, just did a lot of, you know, in addition to just being like a just aggressively racist piece of shit, right? Yeah, like, and not even, and that's not even racist, the union thing. It's just like, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying on top of him being aggressively racist, on top of all that, it's just he also did like a lot of bad things for pro wrestling on the back end that didn't come out until a long time. And then as it came, that's why like he came back pretty recently to WWE and like got, you know, his music hit. It was supposed to be a big thing and got booed the fuck out of the building. Yeah. Because which was really nice to realize because like there, you know, again, there is there if people aren't wrestling fans, it is hard to explain. And I've always said that, like, I want everybody to experience the energy of the pop when a wrestler who's been gone for a long time comes back.
Yes.
Because there's something about when that music hits, it almost doesn't matter if you liked them or not, like last time they were around, or you were a fan or not. There's something about, that music, you weren't expecting them, and then like everybody's on their feet.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to manipulate a wrestling audience into that reaction no matter what.
Right.
So it was pretty nice to see that, like, somehow the news of the reality of who he was penetrated far enough that was the reaction, because I could have very easily seen it going the other direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. And wrestling fans and wrestling in general is one of those things where, like, we're real quick to forgive things sometimes and forget about stuff. Like, Ric Flair is also a piece of shit, but there's times but I bet if he showed up for something, like, people would be like, oh, hey, Ric Flair's here. That's great. It's like, but
I was going to do you one better.
Yeah.
There is a non-zero chance that if Vince McMahon's music hit like out of nowhere one day, there would be a decent amount of people on their feet. Yeah. Because they might not know about all the shit.
Yeah. You wait long enough in wrestling, and people will just forget. They'll forget. It's
a little bit like the video game industry also, because like, gamers tend to like get up in arms about certain things, and then enough time passes, they're like, never mind.
I'm that's fine now. Yeah, exactly. Very similar. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, I won't lie, when I learned of it, my reaction was, ha!
No, me too.
That's really it. I was like,
I posted this on Blue Sky, but I'll reiterate it here. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osborne, and burn in hell, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath became one of the bands where if I had a time machine and I could go back to like listen to them, like when they were coming up, like not even when they had hit, but like when they were just coming up, like that would be one of the things that I would love to see.
They were, very unique for that time. I'm really glad that, I don't know, this is tough to explain. I think it's very sad that he passed, but at the same time, I think it's really kind of awesome how he got to go out, right?
Oh yeah, I heard like a snippet of an interview where I think it was actually after that concert where
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like he laid it out. He was like, no, I know I'm dying.
Yeah.
And but I didn't want to just fade away. I wanted to say goodbye on my own terms. Yes. And I saw clips of that final performance. It seemed a little rough.
Oh, sure.
But the fact that he got to
fact that he got to do it and had all this love and support for it, and like all these people showed up and all this cool stuff happened like at the end of it, and like that, what a way to go. Like that was my exact reaction to it. I was like, man, he just had that last concert too. I was like, but man, what a way to go. Like that's like, if I was going to go out, like that's how I would want to do it too. Like that's fucking awesome. Like that, I think that shit's really cool.
And it also got me thinking, because obviously there were a lot of people talking about Lemmy, right? But, there was like, I saw a lot of memes of like, Lemmy, like, welcoming Ozzy into heaven.
Yeah,
and apparently also Lemmy was like a co-writer on a lot of like Ozzy's
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or like wouldn't be surprised. Solo stuff. But just thinking about how truly special of a piece of art Brutal Legend is, because it got so many of those people into this really crazy fantasy world, and you get to like encounter them as the over the top characters that if they didn't portray them exactly on stage, the fans turned them into that over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can definitely talk about like whether or not the game succeeds on what it sets out to do.
It's a little wild,
I always maintain that, like, man, I really wish the Brutal Legend was just a heavy metal Legend of Zelda, and that's all.
It would have been really cool. Yeah, they kind of went a different route with it, to say the least.
It's still really cool for what it is.
No, I agree.
And what it contains. And I actually kind of want to go back and replay it now, because
that'd be kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. That one I was like genuinely sad about. Like, I was like,
absolutely.
oh, that's a real bummer. Like, yeah, that's a bummer. Hulk Hogan was not as upset about.
Oh, no, not even.
I was just like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a complicated thing because of like the nostalgia and again that song. Like I'll still listen to that song just because of like the way that it makes me feel.
Oh yeah,
like it's in my iTunes.
It's that 80s like thing where like
it's a great workout song.
Yeah, it's like the touch. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of that same energy, you know. There's a lot of shit like that from that era.
Yeah. And you know, like going back, like they're not good matches.
Yeah.
But like watching if you watch an old Hulk Hogan match just to see like the energy.
Yeah.
It was something special. Like I'm not saying that it like excuses who he was.
No.
It ends up being a thing, you know, that, and I've encountered a lot in my time with wrestling where you start to realize like who the people behind the personas are, and almost, especially with like, I think the pre-John Cena generation, like more often than not, you really don't want to know who they really were.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it doesn't change the fact of like the emotions that I feel with the stuff in the ring, right? Like I can still watch like a Chris Benoit match and be like, that person was a monster.
Yeah.
But this match is incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me, for those that only know Chris Benoit from the tragedy, and all that, and that's it. Chris Benoit was actually a really excellent wrestler. Like he really
Capital
was.
E, excellent wrestler.
He was fucking really good.
Not only at the like with the psychology of putting like move after move after move together to make it like flow in a logical sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that you could watch him and you were like, bro thinks it's real. Yeah. He probably understands like in the back of his head that he's supposed to lose because that's the booking. Yeah. But he's actually still trying to win. It
was, I mean, his style was obviously very Dynamite Kid inspired. But like like he had just this energy about him. Like a lot of shit that like you see nowadays was like, that was him first, like the chaining the German suplexes and shit. He was the first guy I ever seen do that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff. The crossface, which gets used a lot nowadays, that was his finish. He was a really good wrestler, and so which made it crazy when all that shit happened. It was like, okay, all right. And obviously, like it's a tragedy because, you know, he did a very bad thing, but like it come out that like it was the concussions like really, really took a toll on the guy.
That took a toll on him, and I have a kind of theory of my own, which is I think that he was in love with Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie Guerrero dying broke him mentally.
It could have been,
because like the reaction that he had went beyond just a friend dying. Right. Like if you saw him like after it happened, it was mourning like a true love type of thing. That's always kind of how I saw it. Like
it's an interesting theory for sure. But yeah, Chris Benoit was he was wild. Fucking nuts. Yeah.
I read the book Ring of Hell, which, you know, definitely you can tell the author has he's going into that thing like already with, you know, with the intent to like take Chris Benoit down as low as he can.
Oh yeah.
And you can tell that he has like no love for like wrestling or anything like that.
Yeah.
But still, as reporting like Chris Benoit's life and stuff like that, it's like, dude, the stuff that he went through to get where he was like not okay.
No.
Like the training that he went through, you should not be able to do that to another human being.
No.
And I think and that also probably had a big effect on just the whole trajectory of where he ended up.
Kid?
What's that?
Was he a Stu Hart trainee? Dungeon trainee?
He was a dungeon trainee, but he was also he also went to Japan, and the stuff they did to him in Japan.
Oh yeah,
was.
Yeah, Japan's fucking brutal. Back in the day, Japanese training was fucking nuts. And some of the like old All Japan matches are really hard to watch sometimes. They are very brutal, and like there are moves that they do that you're like, no one should do that to another person. I don't care if it's real or not. That no one should do that. Like that is fucked up. It's a lot of just people landing on their like straight on their head or on their right on their neck and shit like that. And you're like, oh, this is really tough to watch. Yeah.
The pedigree is one of those moves where I always find it to be like very fucked up, because like if you don't let the person's arms go fast enough, they're just eating Matt like with their face.
The idea is that like also if you wanted to really protect, it's almost like the Tombstone type thing where you could probably tuck their head in just enough.
I guess you probably can now
to where they wouldn't hit.
Yeah.
As long as you don't. There's one video where I think Triple H was wrestling some sort of jobber guy, just a random local talent dude, and he didn't know what it was like when he first started in WWE, and he kind of came out with the pedigree. That was when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and he was a rich guy. Yeah. And this guy didn't know what to do for the pedigree. He had no idea what he was trying to do. So he goes up like it's a pile driver, and like Triple H just drops him, and it's just like, oh shit. Like it's brutal. Like it's real brutal. Cause he's like, oh, this is like a double arm pile driver. Okay, I guess we'll do that. And but no, it was, and he just like forces the guy down. That one's pretty savage. That's like the most savage one I think I ever watched. But
you can tell that's Triple H like being very green, because if you're developing a new finisher and you're with like someone you haven't worked with before, you probably tell them, hey, this is what my finisher's like.
Yeah.
This is what you should be prepared for.
Probably, yeah. It's tough to say what happened exactly there. But then again, you're out there and around a bunch of people. I could see forgetting what
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody could do it.
I know I've told you the story before, but like, I remember going to Raw, and you know they would have like the dark matches before, and we were sitting with a wrestling student in the audience, and this is when Paul London, because he was also I think this guy he was in the same class with Paul London, because this is before Paul London actually like became a thing. He was just like a local Austin guy, and he was in a match with Perry Saturn. Paul botched a spot, and the wrestling student was like, oh man, like I can't, oh that's bad, like the word is that like Saturn really gets mad if you mess up, right? And so they went for like, I think it was the same spot or a similar spot where they both like went off the ropes, and Paul messed up again, and they just like collided into each other, right? And you could see the change in Saturn's entire demeanor. And then it was just like another like 3 or 4 minutes of brutality as Saturn just beat the ever-loving fuck out of Paul London for real.
So the incident that Julian is talking about, you can find that on YouTube. That is you? It's very well documented. Perry Saturn just fucking absolutely beating the shit out of Paul London.
There's someone on our row who after a while was just like, leave him alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite brutal. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, what that shit happens, man. People get pissed about shit. I want to say it was Terry Funk. Terry Funk always had I think it was him, but I remember one of the older wrestlers having a story about like every now and then I would just punch a guy for real in the ring, and it was mostly when they were just fucking trying to go too fast, and that was me trying to tell them to slow the fuck down. Like, like it was like, no, stop. You're calm down. It's okay. But that's how he would get them to do that.
Then you have the stories of like the acolytes being Vince's teach him a lesson squad.
Sure.
Book someone that he didn't like in a match against them, and he would be like, hey, go fuck him up. Yeah. And then they go fuck him up. Right. Which I always wanted. I mean, I guess there's that show Heels now, and I haven't seen it, but I don't know if it goes as far as I wanted to. Right. Like I wanted to like develop a show with John Gholson that was like basically like the Sopranos of pro wrestling, where it was like very like
that would be cool. That would be interesting. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah. You'd almost have to set it You'd have to set it
in
backwards.
like the territories.
Yeah, you'd have to set it in the territories. That's the only way it works.
I mean, I think that you could also do something that's set around like the 80s into the 90s.
Yeah, or I mean, you could probably make a pretty interesting show about modern indie wrestling too. Like, just
you could do that, or maybe that's the progression of the show, right? Like this, it starts with like the territories and like that, that thing, and it evolves into the main guy end up controlling everything. And then you see how terrible that becomes.
I know exactly how you set it up. Like, so your main guy like flashes back a lot because he's been in wrestling like his entire life, and he was there during the territory days, and you go. And so he flashes. You can go back and forth about like and so that way you can get more of his character, like why he wants to do things a certain way and stuff like that, because this is how it worked then. And then you kind of go, yeah, but that was fucked up though. Right. So yeah, it could work. That'd actually be pretty good.
Now that we've alienated the entire audience.
Oh yeah, it's fine. No, that's what I do here. That's what we do here. Anyway, rest in piss, Hulk Hogan.
Yes, absolutely.
All that to say.
Justin, you ever make a fancy sandwich? You like a fancy sandwich sometimes?
Like what? Like gold flakes on it?
No.
Like are you gonna like dip it in, I don't know, vodka sauce? What are we doing?
I put a slice of lettuce and a slice of tomato.
Okay.
And then I cut it in half.
Okay.
Felt very fancy.
That was the sandwich?
That was a sandwich, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it had ham and cheese and mayo.
You know what you need to do, Julian, is make tea sandwiches, which are just like, I think like a cucumber. You have to cut the bread into circles, and then you put a cucumber.
You already lost me. I hate cucumbers.
Well, now hold on. I don't know what else is in it. What's in a tea sandwich? Sometimes I wish I had voice search on, but in a tea sandwich. What is in a tea sandwich? Google. It's okay. Cucumber. All right. Smoked salmon.
I like the smoked salmon.
Egg salad. Chicken salad, ham.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Are these all variety of the common ingredients? Okay, so you can have the small dainty sandwiches, Julian. Like you got to cut them up real thin,
Yeah.
English tea sandwiches.
They're like little triangles, right? Like you cut them into triangles.
No, these ones are in rectangles, but you can do like little circles and stuff like that too. You get a little cookie cutter. Just cut that bread in a circle or whatever. Ham and brie. Oh man. Now we're getting classy.
When did you start dating Brie?
I knew a girl named Brie. I did not date her though. Yeah. She was very nice. She lived in my neighborhood.
I'm sorry. That was like the lowest hanging fruit joke.
I know.
And we just
I didn't know where to go with it, so I was I knew someone named
like,
that.
I hate ham because of the obvious jokes.
Yeah.
And then I just did like the hackiest thing that I could possibly do.
Good. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's like my last girlfriend's name was Jenny, and obviously she hated people calling her Jedi.
Sure. Yeah.
And I didn't do it. And then randomly, when we'd been dating for like over 2 years,
right.
Somehow it just slipped out.
Oops.
And I don't know why.
Yeah.
And like she stopped and she looked at me and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I've embraced the ham thing now. I just don't like ham as a meat. I just never did. I just think it's a bad meat. It's
become my favorite meat for
I
sandwiches.
Get it. I like
a honey ham.
For sandwiches, not awful. I will accept it for sandwiches, but if somebody's like, yo, it's Easter, we about to have a fucking spiral ham, I'm like, get that shit out of my fucking face. I don't want that.
See, I had my first spiral ham at like a Thanksgiving that I went to with an ex, and I'd never had it before, and I was like, "This is the fucking bomb!" Holy shit!
I know. I get it. I know. It's me against the world on this. I understand. I know. Yeah. Everybody is like, "Oh yeah, no, I really prefer a ham," and I'm like, It's never really cared for it. It's fine. They're fine. It's not inedible. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I won't eat it. I will.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
anything else,
really? Right. Yeah. I wouldn't make one myself, Julian. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. I did make one myself for the first time. Was that last? I think that was last Thanksgiving. And then I got fucking sick of it because like it's really hard to make meals when it's just you.
You can't like make a whole spiral ham for just you. That's like a no, I have like 7 people coming to my house.
It was a smallish one.
I know.
But it was still too much.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ham, man.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a meat that's like good in small doses, I think. Like if you have like a serving of it or 2, or you get your fill of it. But like you don't want it like the next day maybe. Or something
probably
like
not.
that, because
you want to have a cool down, like, and then you can probably throw like another slice in like a sandwich, or heat it up. But see, the problem is that by that point you've probably also run out of the stovetop stuffing.
It's not hamburger, which is the evergreen meat. You can just eat hamburger whenever in any kind of form, in my opinion. But like ham is like, no, you need a cool down. You really do, because it has a distinct like sweetness to it. At least that kind of ham.
You're right.
That you just kind of like, you can't eat that all the time,
because it also comes with that glaze, and so
that's what I mean. Yeah. It's a whole thing. Anyway, what was this? What were we talking about? I don't even remember.
Fancy
anymore.
Sandwiches. So I got into my head that I was going to make a BLT, and then I was like, oh well, I've got all this like lettuce and tomato. So I can just make this on a regular sandwich. And like, I don't do this very often because like growing up, like when it was with sandwiches, it was strictly meat, cheese, bread.
Right.
And actually, no condiments, just meat, cheese, bread.
Right.
That was sandwiches for me growing up. And so that's what I typically make, except now, I put mayonnaise on it, and I'm like, this, man, I'm the hot shit. I put mayonnaise on my sandwich. But every once in a while, like, and it's usually like about once a year, maybe every other year, I'll like buy a tomato and some lettuce, and I'll just like put that sumbitch on that sandwich, and I just feel like the fanciest lad. I'm like, look at me, I can afford to put veggies on my sandwich. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I would like to make one quick apology to you and anybody else listening, just in case it shows up in the recording later. For some reason, there's fireworks happening outside. I can just hear all the fucking little booms and shit, and I'm like, okay, if that picks up, I deeply apologize.
Oh no, they just heard that Hulk Hogan died.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Celebrating. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, my dogs are real pissed about it. I can hear them too, but I don't think that'll show up. But then again, sometimes it does. Hard to say, but yeah, I figured I'd nip that in the bud just in case, because I was sitting here like you were talking. I'm like, oh, here's pop 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 pop. Like, what the fuck? Why? What happened? Okay.
Sorry. Well, never mind. You're in Ohio. That wouldn't be the case.
No.
I was going to say, like, this is how we find out that Trump passed away, but we're in the middle of recording, so we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there would not be celebrations in Ohio.
No. Well, depends. Depend. Not where I'm at in Ohio, but some places are. Not fans of them. It's hard to say. You never can tell anymore.
I know. That's the worst
the
part.
Sad
of it.
part. Yeah. Until it's too late. Until you're in mid conversation with somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Not that thing, but like another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Justin,
what
did you do? What did you do? This has been 50 minutes of just I don't even know what.
This is my kind of podcast. We could end the show right here, and I'd be like, "What a great fucking episode that was! That was great."
No, look, I'm having a good time.
I am too.
I think it was a fun discussion. I feel that the listeners are like, this wrestling shit needs to stop right the fuck now, or I'm gonna lose it.
No. But we talked about sandwiches. We talked about Ozzy Osborne. We talked about the Paw Patrol. This is a good fucking episode. I don't care what anybody says.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And it is a variety show, so you never really truly know what to expect. but ostensibly we are a video game show, and I think that at least a portion of the audience is coming to the show for the video games.
All right, fine, I guess.
Did you play any video games?
Yeah, I guess I did. Let's see. I'll give a quick hit real quick. I played House of Ashes because I'm playing it for Kim because they've had it forever and then never finished it because they got too scared apparently and didn't want to go down a hallway. So now they're making me go down the hallways.
Which is that's just great because
right?
you are also a fucking coward.
Well,
so it's like Shaggy and Scooby trying to basically spur the other one on down the hallway.
Pretty much, yeah. They're the brave one among us, but like when they're playing it, they can't play it. I don't know what it is. They freak out apparently. But
with a horror game, it's different when you have the hand on the controller.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, 100%. But I don't have that big of I'm really scared when I'm in those games because I realize how they work most of the time. Because I'm like, no, they're not going to do anything while I'm walking, so it's fine. Like, nothing's going to really pop out at me or anything like that.
Well, and your main issues is first-person perspective.
Yes. Oh, that's...
And also
and
any type of jump scare.
I don't have a lot of that. All the jump scares are really, telegraphed for the most part. Like, I'm like, okay, you're focusing on this one little spot, something's going to... And there it is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
When I can see it coming, it doesn't bother me.
Sure.
And they do it a lot. They're almost kind of like little cheap dumb horror movies that you can find around. And I'm not dismissing those. Those are perfectly fine and fun to. They're schlocky a little bit. But anyway, House of Ashes. Playing that after the Corey has been fascinating because I'm like, man, they really made these ones on a budget. It's very noticeable in a lot of ways. Like, I'm playing it on a PlayStation 5. It came out on, I think, last gen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to think about it,
I think all of those came out last gen.
I think so, too. The frame rate is atrocious a lot of the time in that game. Until I went into the options and turned on performance mode, and then everything was fine. But it was really bad up to that point, and I was like, which it was confusing. I was like, this game doesn't look that good for it to run like this. Like, that's wild to me, especially on a gen up. Like, I'm like, this shouldn't be doing this. I don't know how they optimized this, but it wasn't good. And then all the faces are kind of weird and off, and I'm like, yeah, they were on a budget. I get it. It's fine.
I mean, I still am pretty impressed with what they managed to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's definitely so I've only played 2 of the Dark Pictures games, and I felt that Man of Medan didn't look nearly as good as Until Dawn.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But I thought that Little Hope actually was like a good middle ground between Man of Medan and Until Dawn.
Yeah.
And then I haven't gone any further than that. So I haven't played the Quarry yet.
Yeah. The Quarry looks pretty good. That's a good looking video game.
The new one that I always forget the name of, the
sci-fi
one, looks incredible.
20 or something like that.
Directive 8020, yes. Which apparently, this is a weird thing I'm seeing in video games lately, Justin.
Okay.
This actually happened to 2 things in the last week, which is they delayed Directive 8020. They pushed it back to next year.
God damn it. Okay.
But they're also laying off a bunch of staff. And I don't understand the idea of needing to work more on a video game that you were planning on originally releasing before the end of the year, and also getting rid of the people who would help you with that.
They're not they're their own thing too, right? They're not owned by anybody.
No, they're independent. And
that's honestly,
I'm kind of surprised that they've been around this long.
Yeah.
Because I feel that nothing has really sold significantly well since
Until Dawn. And that was the PlayStation exclusive type thing. I think maybe sold that a little better than what it maybe would have. That, and they had a lot of name actors and stuff like that. It was a cool thing. It
was and it really hadn't been that.
It hadn't been done. It was a really cool idea. It really was. But yet, oh wow, that's weird. That's real weird. I didn't hear that, but that's fucking.
And the other one that happened too was Splitgate 2 is pulling a multiverses. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, they did. Oh, good. Oh, it's
going back into beta. Like it launched, and now it's going back into beta.
Good.
But they also are laying off a bunch of staff, and it's
good.
like I don't understand how you need to work on your game, but you're going to fire people.
That it was that guy who showed up at Summer Games Fest just absolutely fucking tanking everybody's interest in it like all at once.
Oh, it didn't help, but
it sure didn't help.
There's a lot other there's other stuff that is involved there, but
no, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and they're also apparently shutting down Splitgate 1. So it's also turning into like a Overwatch 2 situation.
Oh no, you guys are dumb. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
God bless. Whatever, man. That's okay. Nobody's gonna play that. That game's dead. That's the worst thing.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, so Splitgate as a thing is just dead.
That's done. Yeah. Somebody else can make a new one and do it better, and people will probably play it and have fun. Just do that. Just name it something different. Make it better than that. Make it. I don't think it should be too hard to do because you have the bones. Like, look, you can just copy what they did, but then just make it better. I don't know. Anyway, House of Ashes. It's pretty decent. Like, it's fine. I've seen it before and I know where it goes, and it's kind of I love how off the rails it gets toward the end of it.
This is the military-based one, right?
Yes.
Like, there's a soldier as a character.
And you're in Iraq, which I think is kind of a cool idea, because it's like 2004 where they're hunting for weapons of mass destruction, and they think they find them in this, like, they find this big underground thing. They don't know what it is, so they're like, that's where they're hidden at, so we got to go in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out to be a different thing. Which is kind of a neat idea.
Were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But it kind of gets like delightfully off the rails at certain points, which I think is cool. After playing the Corey, I'm like, man, these games are mean. They're fucking mean. Like the button prompts are like really quick compared to like the Corey. The Corey seemed like really generous with that stuff. I'm also like not. Go ahead.
Are they really quick, or are you getting slower?
No, they're pretty fast, honestly.
Okay.
I am a little bit slower than what I used to be, but like there is difficulty settings, and I have it like right in the middle. And I stop paying attention a lot. That's the big thing. They come out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I didn't see it coming.
You were telling me before the show that like you decided to have light up a cigarette during a cutscene. I was like, you should know better on these games. Like
I should.
They delight in having the quick time thing happen during the cutscene.
As soon as I take my eye off the ball, it feels like it's like laser targeted at my dumbass. Because as soon as I take my eye off the ball, one of them's coming up, and then I am just stumbling all over the place. Nobody's died yet, but it's coming. I'm gonna fuck something up real bad, and it's gonna happen. The one thing I don't like that those games do, but at the same time I kind of think it's neat, is they give you that like they almost try to trick you into like doing a thing, because they'll give you like a mini game. If you do the mini game, then you do it correctly, and then somebody dies. I'm always kind of like, that's kind of a mean thing to do, but I kind of like it at the same time.
No, I'm here for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of think it's neat, because sometimes you're thinking about it. You're like, well, I should do the mini game, because my gamer brain tells me that I should complete the mini game correctly, right? Like, yeah.
I want to play this one, so I don't want you to spoil it.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't want to get too deep into this, but my issues with all of the supermassive games that I've played so far is that of the three that I've played, they have all done the thing where it's like, but it wasn't the thing that you were thinking it was the whole time, and it was actually like this very like explainable thing, but they'll try to do things to trick you, like you said, like to do a thing, but the formula, and I don't know how to fix this. I really liked what I heard about people playing the co-op campaign in Dead Space 3.
Okay.
because it would be a thing where your characters would hallucinate. So you would be reacting to things, and I think it was supposed to be that you weren't supposed to be in voice chat with each other.
Sure.
Or maybe you were, and they would, I think that's what it was. They would cut off your voice chat for certain parts.
Okay.
So that like it would be a thing where I think they would try to trick you into like killing the other player.
Right.
Because you would be seeing the other player as a monster or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a really cool concept. I wish that you could like do that. And I know that like some of the Dark Pictures games try to do that as well for the co-op stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like once you've seen one, you kind of know what the trick is.
Yeah.
And maybe House of Ashes like takes things in a different direction than the previous 3 that I've played. But so far, it's like I feel I know what to expect now.
Sure.
With their games.
Yeah.
And maybe 80/20 is the one that really takes things in a much different direction, because the whole concept there is like the Thing, where you don't really know.
Yeah, they sort of have
who's a Thing.
Yeah, they sort of have a formula for a lot of what they do and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They are good. I know the Corey does this a couple times, and the this one does it a few times too, where it's like they get you by like putting you in a situation where like you have to react really fast to it, and if you don't, you may die or you may not die, and some people are going to be pissed and some people aren't, and you might get that right in the second playthrough, but you're probably going to fuck it up the first time. Like I know the Corey has a part where like you because they always have the gun aiming sections. Corey has it, and this one has it too, where there's like a little it's nothing, it's more of a mini game than anything. You just got to line the reticle up right, and that's it. But this one has it where like you're in you know invade it very early on, you bust into this like Iraqi place, and you know a guy busts out, and you're like, oh shit, and you aim at him thinking they're gonna shoot you or whatever, which is kind of, you know, I guess realistic in a way.
Sure.
But and if you react to it, and then everybody's like, why the fuck did you do that? And you're like, I don't know, man, I just was completing the mini game. I don't know what the heck. And then like the Corey was good about doing that, and you were completing the mini game, and that was what you're supposed to do. And then to a certain point, they would, and then they yell at you. Or be like, why did you do that? It was crazy. Why would you have shot that thing? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I thought I was supposed to. My bad. And then later on, they kind of present you with one where you're aiming at them, and you're like, oh, well, I probably shouldn't shoot them. And then it goes horribly bad when you don't. Right. Like, yeah, it's in a very fun way, honestly. I don't know. They do definitely have a formula, though. Like they're kind of just the cadence of how they tell their stories is kind of very similar in almost all of them.
Yeah.
I do like this one because I remember how it goes at the end, and I remember being like, you know, for what those are, just kind of like I said, kind of cheesy horror things, you know, for the most part. I thought it worked really well because I was just like, this is more than what I expected it to be. Like,
right.
it what it turned into. So yeah. But anyway, I've been playing that. That's fine. I'm probably gonna finish that pretty soon here. Played about 4 hours, 5 hours maybe of Death Stranding 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Important question.
Uh-huh.
Are you out of the prologue?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. It's about, to me, it feels like about similar to the original like prologue intro area, right? Like at least that's what I think it is, like where it's like just a little small section of the map, and then eventually I'm going to be in the big zone and then have to do that stuff. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Well, different in the sense that like it's a completely separate from the main part of the map.
Yeah.
In this game.
Yeah.
But it gives you well, I guess there is a pretty different, you know, it's a wider open area with like a pretty big enemy camp where, like, right off the bat, where in the first game, like, it was long. It took longer before you ended up encountering, like,
you're talking
mules.
about the first game in the sense of like when you encountered certain things, because the first game, the way I remember it is they send you up to basically get the BB or whatever in the beginning, or was it? I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. That's what you end up with.
I think the first thing is that you have to incinerate.
You have to incinerate the president's body or whatever, right?
Yeah,
something like that. So you go up that little mountain, and that's like its own treacherous type thing. But you're learning about how to use tools and dealing with terrain and all that shit, right?
Yeah,
that's that intro lesson. The next one is like, okay, you're off to go do this stuff, go deliver these things, and then like, I remember the first thing you run into is BTs.
Yeah. Where here it's human enemies, and it's like really fast.
Yeah.
Yo, you can shoot them so hard now.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun to shoot them hard now.
They spell it out for you. They're just like, yeah, none of this stuff will kill them, so you don't gotta really worry about that anymore. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's fine. But I still play it like I used to, which is like, I'm just gonna go around that. I just don't really want to engage in that stuff. I kind of enjoy the peaceful walking to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I just would go like plot all my routes around that stuff. Like they even tried to railroad me a couple times. I was like, no, I'll just go ford this river more than I should actually ford this river.
Oh, I got around that first camp without engaging.
Yeah,
like I didn't even stealth anybody.
There was two. There was that one, and then there was one right after it where it was like, you can either go kind of past this deep river, or you can just go through this enemy camp. And I was like, I should probably go around that enemy camp. Like, fuck all that.
I mean, for me, it's also part of the role playing where it's like, as a good porter,
right?
Like, I want to make sure that like this delivery, is intact and timely. So I
love like plotting this stuff and getting all the tools. That's what I used to like to do. My big thing is I've never been big on like building stuff, because I'm always just like, I just don't care that much. I don't know what it is. But eventually they're like, no, which I don't remember this from the last game, if there was anything that you had to go into those like enemy camps for. But this one, it's like, no, you gotta go. We need these things that are inside this enemy camp, so we need you to go get them and bring them to this place.
There was at least one like story mission in the first game.
There probably was. I just don't.
Yeah, because they wanted you to engage with like, this is how the mules work. Right. This is how they can track your. They could track your packages.
They had the whole thing where they sent out the pulses and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you would have to like break into a mule post box to get the thing that you needed. Yeah. There was at least one of those. Yeah.
I don't remember everything in that game, so yeah, I definitely believe you. But yeah, I was mostly going around that stuff and doing all that, doing that type of shit. I got, I think, slightly past the one where it made me go in the enemy camp, and I stopped. Again, I'm only like 4 hours in. I want to see how it opens up more. I did play. I think a lot of my time in it was, I just randomly decided, you know what, I'm going to do all the VR training. Like, why not? I'll just do that while I'm here, because I don't know. Maybe it'll benefit me somehow. I don't think it did.
the shooting in that game is real good. Like, I like the way it feels.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's fine. It's fine. I wasn't like, I'm not, it's kind of average. I was just like, I wasn't over the moon about it. I wasn't like, I didn't hate it either. I thought it felt fine.
I don't know if this is in the VR missions, but like the way that it does that, like, there's something about the sound effect and also the slowdown effect when you get a headshot.
Yeah, no, it does all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very satisfying to me. And also I really like that it allows you like kind of a split second to set up like your next shot.
I don't know. There's something about that game that I think if I was making it, I would take all of that shit out of it. I don't like that stuff. I know it works in the world that they've created. I know it's the thing that they want to do. I think that's great. I just, every time I have to engage with combat or stealth in that game, I just get annoyed by it. I'm just like, I just kind of want to walk and do my thing. And then like, but there's always that part where it's like, but now you have to go in here and like do an actual video game. I'm like, but I don't want to. I just want, I just kind of want to walk. It, like every time there's like an enemy or something like that, I'm like, God, fucking, this is annoying. Like now they have those little like fucking spider things or whatever, and I was like, this is fucking annoying.
But those specifically are only, they're supposed to be annoying, and they're really only there. They're really there for when you have like a vehicle and kind of dissuade you from driving around too much at night, because they'll rapidly drain your vehicle's battery.
Okay, got you.
That's kind of what they're for.
Okay, I haven't gotten a vehicle yet.
Yeah.
But in the short time that I played it, I'm already starting to go, I don't know how far I'm going to get in this. And it's mostly just like me immediately going, yeah, I did this once. And this is pretty much, it's similar enough to where I'm just like, yeah, I did this once and I didn't really care for it then. And I don't know if I have the stamina to do it again.
Sure. It is supposed to be about half the length of the first game.
That's fine. That's okay. But like immediately, like when they start like giving me like, oh, take these packages back to this place, and then you get all the stars and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I just don't. Like, I didn't want to do it in the first time I did it. I had no desire. I mainlined.
You just want to walk.
I just want to walk, and I just want to progress the story. That's all I want to do. I know there's a ton of like cool little side stuff that from getting the star ratings up and all that stuff, and I don't care. Like they're because it's just like the game becomes such a slog to me that I'm just like, I don't want to walk all the way back there or get a. Like, I don't know. There's something
that's
about
so interesting to me, because for me, it's like the opposite, where I'm like, this is such a cakewalk compared to the first game. Like,
yeah,
I may as well just be like on a leisurely stroll for all these deliveries.
It is. It's not. It doesn't seem hard or anything. I'm not saying it's difficult or anything like that. It's still the same game. The things I liked about it and I almost wish somebody would make a Death Stranding and take all the combat out and just be like, no, it's you versus the world in the terrain, and just be like, yeah, like when it's wet, shit's crazy. There's fucking crazy windstorms. Like they hit you with a sandstorm pretty early. At least they did me, and I was like, this is pretty fucking cool. I was like, this is all right.
The weather stuff in Death Stranding 2 is incredible.
Yeah, I think that shit's awesome. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I'm down for this shit. That's awesome. But then I start thinking about like, oh, eventually they're gonna like railroad me into some BTs, and I'm gonna be annoyed by that because I never really liked dealing with that shit. I always found it kind of obnoxious. And I'm just like, I start going through the progressions of what the game's gonna do, because I know that's the game. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do this again. Like I'm already I'm gonna play it more. I am going to. I have committed. I'm at least gonna get to where the main thrust of the game is and go from there and make a decision. But right now I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm cool on Death Stranding. And also I know, they have more stuff they want to do in that world, and I think that's great. But like, I think that first game just works so well as a fucking one and done that I don't think you need another one.
No, I agree, because like Death Stranding was one of those games that I put with like BioShock. And I'm sure there's another one where I'm like, this was like, I don't need more. Like this is great.
Yeah. To me, The Last of Us is also one of those games.
That was the other one I was thinking of. Yes.
I know 2 is really good. I don't think you needed to make 2. I think it works so good as a one and done. It really does. Like, that story is, perfect as it was. Don't fucking touch it. But no, we need to touch it. There's money involved. I get it. But
no, I agree. As much as I love like The Last of Us Part 2 from a gameplay and actually story perspective, I don't like the way that the story is laid out, like as far as just the progression of it. I actually do enjoy the story. I know that's like a not very popular opinion, but I didn't need it. And
right.
And it's the same thing here, but like as I was getting into it, I was like, I do like the idea, because I had this thing with Horizon also, and one of the things that I loved about Horizon Forbidden West, where I was like, I want to know what the rest of the world is like.
Sure.
And this and Death Stranding 2, because you start to realize within the story, I don't know if you're really there yet, but
yeah,
like,
probably not.
You start to find out that like, oh yeah, so it wasn't just me. The UCA does not know what's going on outside of America.
Right.
For all they know, like everything could be totally fine in Canada.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could just be here. Right.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's very interesting. Like just the concept of like, we've become so disconnected from the rest of the world that like, we have no idea how things are. And then getting to see glimpses of what's going on in other places is really cool to me.
I get it.
But you know, I think for me, excuse me, I need to grab some water.
You're okay.
This has been happening like the last few episodes.
It happens to us all, Julian. Well, he's going to get some water. I don't know what else I'm going to talk about. I guess Death Stranding 2. You know, it's fine. It's not. I don't know. I didn't like the first game very much. I just didn't. I think it, and I stand by what I just said of like, I think it's a perfect one and done. I just do. Like, it had a good conclusion. It was annoying when Kojima was just like, and here's everything that everything in this game means. And I was just like, you don't need to do this. Just let's all just have a think. Let's just think for ourselves. You don't need to tell me. It's cool. Like, he can't help himself. I realize that. He has a problem. We all do. We all have our thing. That's Kojima's. He just needs to tell you. He's like, did you notice this? And you're like, I did, actually. I did. It's cool, man. It's real cool that you decided to spell that out for everyone. Oh God. Oh man. That fucking one person's name just I've never been more upset watching the ending of a game as a certain person's name, and we need to explain why they're named this, and I'm like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck off. Okay, Julian's back. Nobody tell him what I said. Yeah, he'll hear it anyway. It's fine. You know, I've said this before. It's fine. You okay?
I don't know. I hope I'm not coming down with something.
Sometimes when you just talk for a while, it just happens.
Yeah. The HoloLive girls talk about having like a humidifier in their room when they're streaming, and I'm like, I wonder if I should do that for podcasting. But this we're not doing this nearly as long as like a streamer.
And you're also in Texas where it is dry. So yeah. A lot drier there.
I think getting back to it, my thing so far, besides like just zero friction in the gameplay, is that there's been a surprising lack of story so far.
Yeah. I was surprised by kind of how little setup there was.
Yeah, you're like I said, it's like the fastest I think you are controlling a character in a Kojima game since like Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like I kind of the intro was fine. Like I dug it. I dug it until they bring you back into the mission itself, and then I was kind of like, that just seems abrupt. And like he doesn't even like, it seems like he doesn't even try to fight with them or anything like that. Like he's just like, yeah, sure, I'll do this weird thing you want me to do, no problem. Like, I'm just like, really? Like,
there continues to be like systemic issues with Sam as a character, and I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I really do, because like at this point, you know, I think I mentioned this last time I talked about it, is that, you know, my assumption with Death Stranding 1 was that Kojima had Norman Reedus for a very limited amount of time.
That's what I think a lot of us thought. Yeah.
But I would imagine that for a sequel, after the first game being successful,
right?
You know, and Norman Reedus seems to be 100% on board, right? He's doing interviews, he's appearing with Kojima at events and stuff like that. So he seems to be in it at this point,
right?
And so I expected, I was like, okay, we're going to see like an evolution of this character, because like you almost got there at the end of Death Stranding 1.
Sure, he has some moments, absolutely.
At the very end, he completely reverses any of that progress.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't he? But yeah, like they give you, okay, I'm gonna spoil, like, not really a spoiler, it's like the very beginning of the game setup wise, and it's not even, it's just like, okay, someone shows up and they're like, you gotta go do this thing, Sam, and then it showed up with like what you were talking about with the dialogue choices, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting, and like they kind of take you through the progression in the trees and stuff like that, and I was like, this is kind of all right, I don't hate this, but like, and he's actually, you know, kind of saying stuff that this seems cool. Then it got to a point where it's like, where I had the option to like turn them down. I was like, well, okay, if I feel like Sam would probably just say no, like, no, I'm out. I don't want to do this again. This is my life now. I'm cool here. Like I'm good actually. Thanks though. So I said that thinking it would just eventually like, no, like you got to do it. And it did an interesting thing, but I was immediately like, all right, so you had nothing for that. Like it did kind of like almost like a fake game over, but it wasn't a game over. It just returned me to the previous scene and played the whole cutscene over again. And I was like, that was really weird. Why did it do that?
I had heard about that from Nextlander, and I wish that what it did was it just did like roll credits. I would have loved that. I would have loved the Yoko Taro fake ending there, and that's kind of what I was hoping would happen. I was like, I wonder if I say no, if it's just gonna roll credits on me. Yeah, and no, it doesn't. It just returned. I was like, all right, fucking fine. But look, and you can skip the cutscene and go right back to it, and it's fine. But like, yeah, but it's a weirdly awkward way of doing it. It's
really an awkward way to do it. I was not a big fan of that. But like, even if I would have said that and like they would have had like a bit of a tiff about it, like just give me something, like, right? Because like I feel like that character should at least have a fucking backbone about this whole thing, but no, he's just right back in it doing this thing. That's what he does, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that, but then you're out and doing it, and you're doing the Death Stranding, and that's pretty much it. But I don't know. I feel very similar to it about how I did the first game, where I'm just like, I'm intrigued, but I kind of hate it. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
that seems like a strong word to me, simply because like I was expecting you to like it for the reasons that I'm having issues with it, which is that like now like the barrier to entry for like so much of like the progression is removed.
No,
it's just like because it almost does to me. It almost feels like just you know, casually stroll from.
So I made it a thing,
here.
And when I played the first game, that I was not going to use like any of the vehicles almost ever, and I didn't. And I made it like purposely hard on myself because I liked just trying to journey like on foot to all these places and see how I could do it. And like I would use all the most basic shit. Like I basically used like climbing anchors, ladders, and I think there's another one that I used to use a lot too. But it was all like real simple shit. Like it was all like, no, I'm fording this shit on foot. I don't need a fucking vehicle. Fuck all that. I'm a man, god damn it. I want to be out there, me against the world in the elements. So like, and they would keep giving me like, do you want a truck? And I'd be like, no, I don't. I want to fucking walk and be miserable. And that was kind of like what made it fun, was like, okay, I'd get to a river. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And like, that was like the entertaining part of the game to me. And I feel like I'd still play the game like that, as weird as it is. When they had me go into the mule camp, I immediately, like, at first I was like, okay, I'm going to stealth this out. Because I just went through all that VR training as to how to do it, and I think I get it. And then immediately, like, I got seen by somebody, and I was just like, fuck it, we shooting. And then I shot all those guys, and I was like, yeah, that was fine.
It's been a pretty big adjustment for me because they've got what we refer to in the MMO biz as true sight, which is if you can see them, they can see you, instead of it being like a very, arbitrary like cone of vision that you can exploit, which I get. And there is something to be said about that, because as games get more advanced, it's like it makes more sense. But as I've said many times, like I like a certain amount of dumb in my stealth for the enemies. They're a little bit too smart for me.
I admittedly, when it asked difficulty wise what I wanted it to be, I turned it down. I think I turned it to like the story mode or whatever. And because I was like, no, I want like the elements part to be there, but like when it comes to the combat, I didn't like it in the first game, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it here either. And it was like, you can change it later. I was like, okay, if this becomes like too much of a cakewalk, I'll turn it back up or something. I'll turn it up or something like that, whatever. And I was immediately like, no, I'm pretty fine with it right here. I still find the combat just like out of place. I don't know what it is. There's something about it, like carrying all this shit and then being like, I don't know. I get this. This is me. This is just how I am, where I'm like carrying a bunch of shit and I'm picking up all this shit as I go. And then I get to where I have to fight somebody. I'm like, now am I supposed to drop all this stuff because I can't fucking hardly move? This is a pain in the ass, and I'm just I get annoyed by it and don't want to do it anymore.
They do have a really cool, I don't know if you've gotten to this in the tooltips yet or not, but this game has a really cool new option that wasn't in the first game, which is that you can just take the backpack off now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So like if you know that you're going to be like heading into like either like in a enemy, like a human camp, you can just like secret your backpack a place where you think it's pretty much good to sit. And then just take like weapons and supplies in.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not bad. I'll have to figure out how to do that, because that seems a lot better than what it used to be.
And then and then on the flip side with the BT areas, if there's like a lot of time fall in the area, but you know that you're going to have to like crawl through this area basically to get through it, you can just like build a timefall shelter, drop the backpack off, make your way through, and then double back around for it.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Because even so with like a BT area, you don't have to clear out all of them obviously, but you can make a path through them either by you how to get around them, and you know where, so you don't have to worry about it, or like I said, this time around, it's just like, just chuck a few blood grenades at them, they're gone.
Yeah.
And so you just like take out the ones in front of you, and then you have like a clear path.
Right.
And so then it's no problem to just jog back, grab the backpack, move on.
Okay. That's not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game is interesting. I don't know how necessary it was to make, but maybe, I don't know, maybe eventually I'll be like, oh yeah, that was totally worth it. I don't know. But
yeah,
I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, maybe I just get to the main map, go a little bit further, and then go, let's just watch what happens in the story, because I don't know if I care about the actual game.
That's kind of what I expect for you.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me to do it again.
Well, and again, honestly, for me, it's like, because like, I haven't really enjoyed a lot of what Pat has been saying about the game on Castle Super Beast, but I do agree with him on one point, which is that this, more than like any other Kojima game, is such a I've done this before type of thing, in a really weird way, because Death Stranding 1 felt so unique and nothing else.
Oh, it was very cool for what it was. Like,
and now that you've had like a lot of the mystery of the world explained at this point, but also what the gameplay loop is, and there's even like a, from what I can tell, the game is laid out very similarly to the original, because like I'm in chapter 3 right now, and guess what, it's the place where you build a lot of roads and you do a lot of like you get into the loop of just ping-ponging between different delivery sites because you get addicted to it, and that is literally what happens in chapter 3 of the first game. And, pretty much. And from what I understand, it's like, and then there's like this part, and then you get like this is a little more treacherous, and then here's like mountains. It's like a very it's almost like the same structure.
Same structure. Yeah,
that's weird that like it's even laid out almost like the same way. You're doing different things, and they've added things, and
Metal Gear is very similar in a lot of ways, like to that. Like, you can go back to like the MGX versions of like Metal Gear and all that. So even the NES ones, a lot of them are laid out exactly like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. Like there's some of the same tricks and everything, like same story beats and shit. Like, it's wild. Yeah. The man likes to make things that are kind of similar. I love him to death, but he has
but I guess
an MO.
It's been a long time since I played all the way through them, but I feel that like Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4 are fairly different games mechanically, and also story wise.
They add stuff, and there is different shit going on. I absolutely 100%.
Yeah. But this to me feels like the exact same game, just with much better graphics and a different setting.
Yeah,
but the setting is still got a lot of the same basic, because like when you get to the main map.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, you're already there. There's a research station that is the goal of the prologue to hook up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Sure.
As you're starting to get there, you're going to be like, this really reminds me of this part of the first game.
Uh-huh.
And then you get there, and the guy is like, hey, Sam, remember me? I worked at this... the place that you were thinking of in the first game.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's weird.
Yeah,
because just even just like where it sits and like where it takes place in the prologue is the same.
Yeah,
and it's a choice, I guess.
It's odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it. But I'm not sure how far I'll get. We'll see. I think one Death Stranding was enough for me. But we'll maybe, who knows? Maybe this time I'll get into it more. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
I think there's a really good bit of exposition that you're going to get to when you hook up that research station that I think is excellent.
Okay.
And then I think the first time that I've only met Higgs the one time.
Sure.
But I was like, oh man, I love that. And like I haven't had a chance to touch it since basically then. I didn't play it this last week. Yeah. I really need to get back to it. This week was just pretty rough.
Sure. Yeah,
I was pretty busy, but I did make a point to try to play something new. And this is actually something that came out last year.
Okay, cool.
That I found on sale that looked interesting. All right. Justin, you have been very great about finding little games that nobody talks about and then talking about them on the show.
Yes. And
then I play it and I'm like, man, I'm so glad that Justin discovered this game and I got to experience it. And so hopefully, and I don't know if I've found one of these.
Okay.
I feel that I have, but I've only played it for
to look
about
it up right now.
hour.
Yes.
I discovered a thing that I think might be very special.
Okay, cool.
And I'm looking forward to. I've really enjoyed what I've played so far. Okay. It is called Last Time I Saw You.
Okay, never heard of that.
Look it up real quick. I love the art style.
Yeah, this looks pretty neat.
Yeah. It takes place in a small village in Japan in the 80s.
Okay.
You play this young boy named Ayumi, and the beginning of it is very just like kind of, day in the life type of stuff. You're talking to your parents, you're doing little things for your mom. You go into the village and talk to people and run some errands.
Mm-hmm.
You get to know the characters. There's like a little like mini game that you can play or not play. But the main character keeps having this recurring dream of chasing after this older girl that he's never seen before.
Yeah.
But it's the same dream every night, and he feels that, like, even though he's never seen her before, he feels this connection to her, and he's desperately trying to figure out why that's the case.
Yes.
A couple days into the game, there's this typhoon that hits the area, and you are locked, like you kind of bunker down in the school, and some stuff happens, and they kind of introduce combat at that point. It does have combat, but it's I think it's more of just like to give you something to do. It's very much in the vein of A Space for the Unbound.
A Space for the Unbound. I was just
and Until Dawn, but more A Space for the Unbound, I think.
Yeah,
because it does have things that you're doing that are a little bit more active.
It's available in a bundle with Until Then and A Space for the Unbound.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
So as I was looking at the preview, I immediately, as it went, I went, I've seen this before. I was like, how did I see this before? And it was because of that bundle. I can't remember exactly which one I found that in. I think it was pretty recently. I was looking at like one of the store pages for either Until Then or Space for the Unbound, or one of them, and seen that there was now a bundle for this stuff. And I remember looking at this. I didn't. My big thing was from the preview. I know as you're talking about the combat and stuff, I seen like it shows that part, and I was like, oh, it's one of these. I don't know if I really want to play this. So you telling me that it's kind of like very secondary, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm maybe back in now. Yeah.
So I have now gotten to like the main thrust of the game, which is that he's drawn to this forest that everybody avoids because they think bad stuff happens there. But he decides that that's where he needs to find the girl. And so once you go into there, it's almost set up, I think, like a search action game, but not quite. It's more of you're now almost in another world. And it's a world where like Japanese folklore creatures exist, right? Like you encounter a kappa like almost immediately, and you find a nekomata almost immediately. And so it's very rooted in Japanese folklore and myth. You're kind of exploring, and you're talking to these characters, and like almost immediately there's like an elevator where it's missing a lever, and so the kappa has it, but it doesn't. It wants something for it, so like you have to like go back to town and get what it wants, right? So
sure.
And I after I played it for like a couple hours, and then I was like, or maybe it was less than that. I'm actually not really sure. I played 2 sessions, and they were, so it's probably over 2 hours so far. Anyway, I was curious about, I was like, okay, this seems special, but I don't want to waste my time. So
sure,
let me go look up a review real quick and see what people are saying. And you might be surprised, I couldn't find very many.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But the one that I did find one from a place that I recognized, so I was like, okay, I think these people actually have like, journalists that work for them. Like
it's tough to say anymore. Yeah.
But I feel it's got like at least a level of professionalism to it.
There are people trying.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Their thing was like it's great, but don't try to binge it because there is a lot of backtracking, which I had already kind of got the sense of.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was not in the forest very long before I was told to now go back to town to get a thing.
Okay.
But like the story is very intriguing. The art style is enchanting.
Yeah.
And I'm really digging the overall vibe of it. Just a couple hours in, I can't say for sure, but I think it being in that bundle says a lot. And so, we have both championed A Space for the Unbound and Until Then pretty high.
Yeah.
So if you liked those, this might be worth checking out.
I picked it up cool. Just now while we were talking. I actually a fun fact about Steam. kids out there, you can if you own both the games that are, or if you own other games in the bundle, they'll still sell you the bundle and they'll give you like it for cheaper. So you can kind of get sale prices every now and then. So I had those other 2 games, and I got like, I think like $2 or $3 off of that game because I bought the bundle version of it. Yeah, it's a fun thing Steam does, actually. I kind of love that. I do that all the time. Like sometimes I'm just like, is it available in a bundle that I have a bunch of the games already? Oh, it is. Oh, good.
It would make me very happy if was able to help you discover a game that ends up being like one of your favorites of the year. That's been your thing with me for the last few.
It seems neat. I'll try it out sometime. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. Is that all you had to play? I got
that's
one
all
more
I've played.
Okay.
I have other stuff to talk about, but that's the only game that I played.
Yes.
I take that back. I dabbled in a couple mobile things recently.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Because as I continue to be fascinated by the type of like stuff that passes for content on Snapchat, with that comes ads.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the ads are for games.
Yeah.
And I need to look them up right now because I already forgot the names of them.
That's good. That's what you want.
Because I didn't play them very long. One was Last War Survival, which is, if you've ever seen the ads where it's like the troops where you're moving between like, okay, this gives you like ×2.
Yeah.
This one is going to like subtract troops, but if you shoot it enough times, it actually goes into the positive.
Sure.
And you're basically just trying to math the thing to get through the levels.
Yeah.
It always looks interesting to me. But usually like the ads that you see for those are that's like a mini game in the overall game.
Yeah.
Where this game, Last War Survival, actually is mostly that.
Oh, cool.
It does have like the other bullshit where it's like, okay, you got to build this base and like, you know, you're pulling like troops in a gotcha mechanic that
they need some way to make money off it. That's basically it. Yeah.
And to its credit, you know, there's no like ads in it or anything like that.
That's cool.
So it is like a traditional free to play game where it's then monetized if you want to spend money on it.
Sure. That's cool.
But if you don't mind grinding, you can just play it like normal. And I was enjoying it, but then I got to the point and it was the same thing with this other game called Kingshot, which is more of a tower defense thing.
Okay.
Although that one is way more focused on I don't know what you call it, like the maintaining of your base and building, and I don't, you know, trying to think of the name for that. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Base management.
You know, almost like a 4X type thing, or
okay.
I've got to upgrade the mill. And I've got to bring people in to work the mill and do this and that, and it's way more focused on that than the actual tower defense stuff.
I gotcha.
To the point that like the battles for tower defense sometimes will just happen when you're away and you don't actually play the actual battle.
Yeah.
So that's not quite what I was looking for. But the issue with both of them is that I got very quickly to the point where I was like, yeah, it's just a numbers game, and the game makers know exactly like where your numbers are going to be at any given time.
Yeah.
So, and then at that point, it kind of breaks it where it's like, I totally understand what this is, and I kind of see into the Matrix type of thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm out. I'm done. But I probably played them both for like a couple hours.
Oh
each.
yeah, that's how a lot of those go. You play them until it's like, okay, this is where the actual grind of this game starts, and if it actually has hooked someone, then they will spend money, because no realistic person is going to sit here for this many hours and do this much stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can, I guess, like a lot of it's like timers and shit like that. When it's that, you can wait it out. It's just going to take you a while, and you're probably going to get bored eventually. So
yeah,
what are you going to do? Not spend $5 on that intro case? I mean, it's right there. You can just.
I almost did at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's just a good value.
That's good value. That's a good value. Yeah.
But that's where they get you.
That's where they get you.
Yeah. So that's all I got up to gaming wise.
Yeah.
Since last episode.
Well, the only other thing that I played video game wise is, of course, one of my weirdo bullshit sports romps. I played EA College Football 26. Thank God I kept that link up because I'd never remember what the full game name of the game is. It's a college football game. You can play college football. Did you know they play football in college, Julian? It's crazy.
I didn't, because there hadn't been a video game for it in like almost 20 years.
Yeah. Well, they do. Here we are. It's the same as it ever was, really. It's just Madden, but college kids now.
You told me before the show that this is actually the second one. I thought this was the first one.
Yes.
Life comes at you fast.
It sure does.
My thing, because obviously I'm not a sports guy, but I remember back in my retail days, I did think it was really cool. I might have asked you this last year, honestly.
You did, yeah.
But I don't remember.
You're gonna ask me if it has a thing where like you can make a player and transfer it to Madden or something like that.
Yeah, to kind of continue their career into the big leagues.
I don't know. I don't think so. It'd be really cool if it did.
Yeah, like that to me back in the day, I thought was the coolest thing about those games was that you could create this like kid and then like have him go through like an entire career across two games. That's practically
the least they could do in those games too, because you were essentially buying the same game twice just to do that exact bit that you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Now you could get away with it back then, because you could rent one of them. You could buy one, like if you buy Madden or something like that, and then rent NCAA. That's what it was back then. And you could rent that one and then go through the career mode. It would
get that save,
and then save, and then use it for that. Which I think I've done before. I don't know if you can do that now. That'd be pretty cool. It does come. I don't think the new Madden's out for another month or two, something like that. It does come with like in a bundle with Madden. Like you can pre-order Madden with it. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but you can. So maybe it has it now. Maybe that's the thing it's aiming for. That'd be pretty cool. I haven't really looked into it. I'll be honest. The reason I played it and decided to play it was on Game Pass. It'll give you I think Game Pass gives you EA Play or some shit like that. And with that, you could do a free trial of it for 10 hours. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'm bored. Let's do that. That sounds good. And that way, if I hate this, then I got my fill of it and I have something to talk about here. So I was like, yeah, let's do the free trial thing. And at first I was like, I'll be like a coach and try to do stuff and be good at coaching. And then immediately I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to recruit people. That sounds miserable. So I was like, let me see what the player mode is, because I really enjoyed that in Madden. And I gotta say, I'm having a great time with this fucking player career mode. It's kind of fucking cool. Yeah.
Was not expecting that.
No, it's kind of cool. I liked it in Madden too. Madden had its own share of problems where like it was constantly trying to connect to the internet, and then that would just kick you out of games. It was horrendous. This one actually starts out pretty dope because like you start in high school, like it's high school football, and like you're a guy colleges are scouting. And they give you these little like missions that you have to do. And like, okay, during this drive, because people are watching you, you need to do this thing and this thing, depending on what position you're playing. And that will up these schools. Like you pick schools that you're interested in. Their interest in you will go up if you do these things. I was like, this is kind of neat. All right, I'm kind of into this. And like slowly it was just like, okay, now you got to start like cutting down these schools. Like people start like messaging you and shit like they would in like real life, where like a motherfucker from Boston College just randomly messaged me as like, yo, listen, I know you're looking at this other shit, but yo, hey, if you came here, you'd be the biggest fucking star this school ever had. And I'm like, you're kind of playing to my ego right now, and I don't know what to say here, sir. This is actually working. I hate that it's working, but he's right. I could be the greatest thing to happen to Boston College. Bert Laserbeam does not fucking discriminate. He wants to be a star. He doesn't care where it's at. And I was like, this is kind of fun. Like, and they start like sending random scouts that will give you little shit that you got to do and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then it was like, okay, now you got to pick what school you're gonna go to. And I started to like look, like really actually sat there and thought about it, because I was like, okay, I can go to Boston College, but they suck though. They suck. Like, I'm like, I'll be a star, but at what cost? But at what cost? And like, I was like, okay, so I don't want to go there. And I started looking at like some of the other bigger schools that were there, and I was like, well, if I go there, I'm like going to be second string, so I'm not going to play. That sucks. So I want to go somewhere where I'm a starter. So, okay, I want to pick one of these. It has to be big, but not too big. Okay. And then I'm sitting there, like, had some like real thought going into this whole thing. And then it, like, you cut it down to 3, and they do like the classic, like, choose which hat to the school that you want to pick, and like it gives you like the option to like start fucking with the crowd and shit during it. And I was like, this is great. I don't know what this is, but I'm having a blast. And then like I got to college and I was upset because I wasn't the starter, and I had to like earn my spot on the fucking roster, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Bert Laserbeam's too big for this. This is awful. But you know, now I'm the starter, and I fucking blazed old Mrs. Bitch ass out of the conference just before this podcast, and it was a great time. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. I honest to God, I got like part of the way through the trial, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna buy this because this is fun to fuck with. I was having a great time. And there's more positions, but I'm terrible at everything but like quarterback. I know how to play quarterback, but I'm terrible at running back. You can do too, but then again, if it requires me to run a passing route, get fucked. I can't do it. But yeah, like it's pretty cool. It definitely has its issues though. Like it'll go into like its little like in between play cutscenes sometimes, and motherfuckers will just be like appearing out of thin air and shit like that. Like you're just weird EA game shit happening with their Frostbite engine stuff is kind of notorious for stuff like that. The graphics get a little weird every now and then, but like the gameplay seems fine, and I haven't had it randomly boot me out of the game for disconnecting from the internet so far. So that's phenomenal right there. Because like I said, I was having fun with the EA thing. Also, when you're in college, it almost also becomes sort of a weird time management game as well, where you have points and you have to keep your grades up and shit. So you have to put stuff into studying. You have to put, stuff into like team leadership, and certain little random events will come up, and like you have to pick what you want to do there, or if you want to train or like recover your health and all this other stuff. I was like, it has a lot going on that just constantly keeps my interest. And when you go,
is there a part where they just go ahead and pass you because they need you on the team? Because that would be a true sim.
Will they do what now?
Where they just give you a passing grade so that you stay on the team?
No, but I wish they would. That'd be fantastic. You don't have to do much. They're in fact, like they lay it. I don't know how the hell you would have to put everything into your academic stuff to actually get like a 4.0 grade point average in it. It seems nuts how much you'd have to commit to that.
I want to spec my football player in intelligence. That's.
I mean, that'd be fun.
How I'm gonna roll.
That'd be fun. That'd be pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's actually pretty fun. Like I was having a good time with it. I think it's cool how they do like when you're playing in that mode, at least they do like the walkout and like they do it from like almost like your third person's perspective, and you can move the camera around, so you're walking down the aisle or whatever, and they're doing the whole thing where they're slapping the sign and all this shit, and fucking walk out, and like the crowd's doing its thing, and you can kind of swing the camera around, and then you run through where the band's playing and all that shit, and then the fight song starts, and you're like, this is pretty fucking hype, man. I'm pretty into this. I also kind of randomly enjoy how they did the soundtrack. It's one of the least annoying sports game soundtracks I think I've ever heard, and I'm not like the world's biggest fan of like, college or high school marching band stuff, It's fine, but it's fun. It's that atmosphere, right?
Yeah, and it's something that I would want for a college video game. Right,
exactly.
College football video game.
It fits what it is. But the way they did the soundtrack is they did all of it in that style, but it's like we took popular music and did the band versions of it and put that in the game as just the soundtrack. So it's like what's the one that I randomly recognized? I was like, is this a fucking Post Malone song playing right now? And I was like, it is. That's fucking, but it's like the marching band version of it. I was like,
and that's what you would get.
Yeah,
at a game, right?
I was like, but if they played the actual Post Malone song, I was like, fuck this, I hate this song. But like, but the band version of it, I was like, this is kind of fun actually. I'm kind of into this. So it's kind of neat. Apparently it's just the same as last year's game. So if that's a thing to you, I mean, I don't know what you expected. Because I didn't play last year's game, and I was like, this is kind of fun. I'm having a good time.
The people complaining about that are too young to know that that's how it always was.
It's been like, yeah, preach. It's been like that for years now, and it ain't gonna change. They give 1 year to add like something. They'll change something up, and that's about it. You're lucky if you get that, honestly, because 9 times out of 10 it's like, we updated the roster, and this guy's in it now. Oh,
especially for the college game, like Madden is where you're going to get the innovation.
Oh yeah.
If there's innovation that year,
exactly. But yeah, I'm having a good time with that. I still don't know how certain mechanics work in it, and I really need to actually look that up. There's like some sort of like weird running play cross pass thing, and I don't know what the fuck to do in it. So I just treat it like it's a running play. I'm just like, yeah, this is running play. But apparently you can pass out of it too, and I have no idea how the fuck that works. And then every time I run one, the announcer specifically says like, oh, it's crazy that they ran that type of play right there. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, sir. I have no fucking clue. This is brand new to me. Very weird, but fun. I also like how like you have to get trust in your coach. Your coaches have to trust you before you're allowed to call audibles and shit like it would be in real life. They're like, that kid doesn't know what he's doing. Do not let him fucking start changing plays and shit like that. That's
some Varsity Blues shit right there.
It's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of neat. I don't know. There's something to it, Julian, that I'm kind of into.
Oh, an oop-de-oop, huh? Stick to my fucking play, son.
Exactly. And that's what I did for video games.
I wish that it had like a even deeper element to the sim. I want it to be like you have to manage your socials as well, and so like you decide if you want to go to this party or not, because like it's gonna affect
there is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, people in the random event stuff, like sometimes people will like just pop up. Like I got one for that exact thing. Some girl was like, hey, there's a party over here, and we're throwing a big thing. You guys are all welcome to come. I'm inviting the whole team. And then like it's like accept, and then it says risk right next to it, and then underneath of it it's like decline. And then I was like, well, Bird Laser Beam's only a risk taker on the field. He'll politely decline this party invitation. I love Burt Laserbeam. He like, I tried to make the oldest looking college kid I could possibly make, and that it turned out pretty well. He just has the fucking Dale Earnhardt Intimidator mustache, and I'm super into it. It's fucking great. But yeah, that game's kind of fun. It's kind of neat. That mode, at least, I'm super into. I love a fucking sports game career mode. Who am I kidding? We all know that.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Well, Justin, I think it's a good time as any to take a moment to thank our patrons.
Let's do that. That sounds good.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And you know what, Justin? Why don't you kick things off this time?
I get to start.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, this is... I don't know. Up first, we have Xavier Krager.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have 60, wondering what the exact chemical makeup of human blood is. It could go a lot of different ways, I think. There's different blood
I feel like there's a pretty easy way to figure that out, but I'm not here to tell you what Google is.
Yeah.
We have Raymond Crum.
We have Philip P.K. Becker.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Exrian.
We have Eric Peacock of Soundtracker.
We have Dr. Delicious of Being Delicious.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have David Portnov.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Bookie.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Big Baker.
We have Addy XD.
Yes. Thank you for supporting the show.
I was way too enthusiastic during that whole thing. I apologize, everyone. That's just not me.
Justin's like, sorry for lashing out like that.
Sorry I flew off the handle like that. That's that's a little unhinged.
Yeah. Also, time to, I don't do this a lot, but consider supporting the show if you haven't. We have a lot of excellent shows on offer over on Patreon, with the Suffer Select for the $3 associate producer tier and Cinemorons for the $5 executive producer tier. Both of those are shows that I highly enjoy doing. And as I've said before, I think Cinemorons is some of the best stuff that we've done, period. It's fun. Thoroughly enjoy talking about movies with Justin, I found.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
Yeah.
I have a better time talking. Oh, excuse me. I have a better time talking about them than I thought I would. So yeah.
It was an interesting thing because I was like, oh man, I don't know how this is going to go, because Justin doesn't really like movies. And I was kind of expecting to be like, I'm going to be spitting all of this stuff out and Justin's going to be like,
yeah.
And it's like, no, it's like so much more. Like, you've got like a lot of like really interesting, insightful things to say about the movie, or when I bring up like production also, or just interpretations of things, and it's awesome. So
I have watched a lot of movies back in the day, but I just kind of let it all go at some point. But now I'm getting back into watching stuff. Now it's kind of weird. Here we are.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are back. We took a break. I went outside and watched a spider eat a moth that was like 3 times its size. It was fucking dope. Like that moth just kind of stumbled into the wrong neighborhood, and that thing just fucking wrapped it up. It was awesome. I was fucking hyped for that shit.
What was slow, intense metal music playing in the background?
It should have been. It would have been awesome. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was intrigued because I at first I seen it and I was like wondering what was happening, and then I was like, no. I was like, oh, well, I was like, I hope the moth isn't destroying the spider web, because I like to leave the spiders alone so that they catch all the bugs, and because I hate bugs. And I've made friends and peace with the spider people. They're fine. And when I was slowly like, I think the moth is caught somehow. That's I don't know. That's probably too big for that spider though. That's pretty small spider for the most part. and then all of a sudden I just noticed like there's a struggle happening, and like it's just slowly wrapping it up in a web, and then just like kind of like almost did like a Spider-Man type move where like once it was wrapped up, it just kind of like went up a little bit and then disappeared into the rafters. And I was like, that is fucking awesome. That was so good. I was intrigued.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's a little thing sometimes.
Indeed.
Like Transformers blockies that I've gotten into recently.
Okay.
Which I told you about last week, that I had like Optimus on the way, like a bigger one.
Yeah.
But I went a little overboard, Justin, because as I've learned, I tend to hyperfixate on things
right
when I get into something. And I enjoyed putting together those two that I had bought in Colorado so much.
Mm-hmm.
I had ordered Optimus and Megatron, the G1 versions.
Okay.
And then they sent me the wrong Megatron, and so I had to send it back. And then I was like so annoyed that I couldn't put that together last weekend that while I was waiting for the replacement Megatron to come in, I also ordered just a case of like one of the series of the smaller figures.
Right.
And so I put together some of those today, and they're so fucking cool, Justin.
Nice.
The amount of detail on these things is kind of amazing, and it's like whoever is in charge over there has done like really deep research on like a lot of like individual like lore and stuff like that. Because so like this set had and it was like a complete set because it's only 6 in the case and there's only 6 characters.
Sure.
So even though they're blind box, you're gonna get the whole set.
Yeah.
And so this version, they're the Shining version, and it was Beachcomber, Sideswipe, Grimlock, Optimus, Soundwave, and Sunstorm, which is a more modern
I was gonna say I've never heard
update.
of them.
Yeah, I think he comes from the comic books.
Okay.
He's one of the Jets on the Decepticons, but he's a relatively newer character, and by relatively I mean like in the last 20 years.
Sure. Yeah.
He's come on the scene.
Yeah, they probably have made more of those, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Beachcomber comes with a little bird that you can perch on his arm, because there's an episode of the cartoon where he decides to become a pacifist, and he like stops, he like leaves the Autobots and he befriends a bird.
That's good.
And that's one of the accessories for him.
I love it. Yeah.
Grimlock, because this series, they actually have like they light up.
Okay.
And so it's like their chest lights up, and it has different effects depending on the character. Like Optimus has like, you can kind of see the Matrix in his windshield.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like behind his chest, and most of them their eyes glow. Grimlock has 2 sets of eyes. He's got blue, which was the cartoon that's cartoon accurate.
Yeah.
But he also has red, which is comic book accurate.
Yeah.
And like that attention to detail to me is like so incredible.
Yeah.
And I am now I'm showing Justin my Grimlock.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
There
we go with the light. And he comes with like his energy sword and his gun. It like the sculpting is great, like the painting is great.
That's good.
They're really satisfying to put together. But the other thing is that Megatron came in today as well.
Oh boy.
And I'm now showing Justin a very large box.
Yeah, that's a pretty big box. That looks like it looks almost like a Gunpla type thing. Yeah, like
so these are basically like simplified Gunpla.
Yeah, that's cool.
And from what I understand, the Megatron and Optimus that I bought, they're kind of in line with a master grade.
Okay.
So that's like I think 2 notches down from perfect grade.
Okay.
But still pretty involved.
Sure.
And again, the attention to detail is insane.
Right.
This Megatron comes with a laser beak that can perch on his arm, because
good, perfect.
Laserbeak does that.
Yeah, he does that.
he has the energy sword that he used to wound Optimus Prime in the animated movie.
Oh, like the weird like thing that like was in his fist or whatever the fuck. Like,
well, no, in the movie he just brings out like a lightsaber that he'd never used before.
Yeah.
So he's got that. He has his purple energy mace from like the first couple episodes of the show.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he also has the pistol that he uses to kill Optimus Prime in the movie.
I love that part of Transformers because it was like their weapons always felt like they just made it up as they went. It was phenomenal. Yeah. Like, I love it.
So I've been watching like videos of these blockies like builds and stuff like that, and that's led me to like a lot more Transformer stuff showing up in my feed on YouTube. Sure. And there is like, you know, this is kind of the unfortunate thing of there's now like an entire generation who they got into Transformers because of the live action movies, and they know almost nothing of anything that came before that.
Yeah.
So you'll get like these like really cringy videos like, did you know that Megatron used to be a gun?
Right. Yeah.
But one of them was like, I didn't even click on it, but it was like, why does Optimus Prime have an energy axe? And I was like, because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, that's they thought it was cool, so that's what they did. Yeah, that's what he had. His like whole hand turned into it, didn't he?
So his hand retracts.
Yeah, and turns into the axe. Comes out. Yeah, that's how I remember it. Yeah. That shit's cool.
It is, yeah, and but you're right. I like the because I'm also reading through. I had gotten that big Marvel Transformers compendium. It's like the first 46 issues, and it's fun to see like things evolve because, like, you know, because the original Transformers American toy line was just two different Japanese toy lines mashed together.
Yeah,
with like a hastily put together bio for all the characters.
Right.
You get interesting things like in those early, like in the pilot episode, like the Autobots can fly. They all can fly.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, like it becomes a thing like, no, only Decepticons can
only
fly.
Only Decepticons can fly. Yeah. They could just randomly fly too. They didn't. Yeah. Which didn't make sense because why would they transform if they can just fly most of the time?
Right. And the answer again is because it's fucking cool.
It is, but at the same time, like it's I don't know. Yeah, I kind of get why you would cut that.
Yeah,
I do remember that though. I used to, that was the pilot episode was like one that I had on VHS. I remember, and watched that a lot. I always found it fascinating that Megatron turned into a gun, even as a kid, because I was like, he's the leader. And he turns into something that somebody else has to use. Like, it seems weird.
There's that. It also breaks the lore straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
Because the lore of the original 1984 cartoon and comic is that when Mount St. Hilary erupts and reactivates the Ark,
okay,
the probe that goes out to scan the life forms of Earth,
right?
You know, for configurations, it is scanning electronics,
right?
Like things that have electronics in them, in order to, because that's the only thing that it sees. That's why, like, it doesn't understand that like these flesh things that are walking around are actually the dominant species,
right?
And so by that logic, Megatron should never have become a gun because there's no electronics in a gun.
Well, but wouldn't it be cool if we had a toy that turned into a gun?
It would be cool if we had a toy that turned into a gun. It would be cool,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when the movie, when in the movie, spoilers, Megatron turns into Galvatron, and he transforms into a cannon. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. That he turns into that. Like, that makes sense. That's cool. I'm into that.
And I do like that in most of the subsequent versions of Megatron, he turns into a tank or some sort of like big fighter jet. I actually prefer him as a tank. I don't like him being something that flies in alt mode.
Yeah, I'm with the tank too. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense, and I think the worst versions of Megatron are the ones that do not have a version of his fusion cannon, because to me there's two things that make Megatron from a design standpoint. Yes. It is the helmet, and it is the fusion cannon.
Right. Yeah.
And spoiler alert, the live action version has neither of those things.
Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint. And he shoots him. This shit's fucking rad. That movie's badass.
Yeah, but I'm having fun with these. I want to crack into one of the big ones this weekend, but that feels like an all evening thing for me because I've never put together something like that. I had I think one small Gundam model back when I worked at Game Fellas and we started selling them, but it was like one of the I don't know what's below. I think it's like the not the simplest tier, but the one above that. I don't know what that tier is.
Yeah, I think I tried putting one of those together once, and I was like, I don't think this is my thing.
Yeah.
And then I found out around the same time they just had like action figures of the like Gundam Wing stuff, and I thought those were pretty cool, and I remember getting those for a little while. But yeah, and I was like, yeah, these are better. They're already put together. I don't have to worry about it, so that I can just display this. This is all right. And that's what I did. Yeah, that was a bit too much for me. There was too many. I remember opening it up and being like, yeah, I'm not a model person. Never was.
I never was, but I think it's a result of getting older and kind of wanting something to tinker with.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. 100%.
There's detail in these model kits where it's like you'll never see that in the display because it's covered with armor. But I guess if you wanted to, you could almost do like battle damage. You could take off like some of the outer armor plates to make it look like, there's the inner skeleton.
Right.
But this is terrible for radio.
It's
but
fine.
Like I'm showing Justin like
good.
a page from the instruction manual.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It gets elaborate.
Yeah, it almost looks like Lego instructions, really.
A little, yeah. And unlike like the Gundam ones, because there it's like when you would take the pieces off of the sprues, as they call them, the plastic frame, you would always have like little bits sticking off of them, and you would want to either cut them with like a special tool or sand them off. Where here, I don't know what they're doing, but these just come off of the sprues like very clean.
Oh,
so
cool.
You don't have to mess with that stuff.
That's good.
Yeah, and I appreciate that about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like I haven't even put these together yet, but I've already decided that if they release like a perfect grade of these at some point where it's like a super elaborate one, that's like super expensive, I was like, I would buy a Grimlock of that because that would be the one that I would want to be that big.
Right. Yeah,
I think when you put these two together, I think they end up being about 8 inches tall.
Okay.
And so, extrapolating that, like a perfect grade would probably be about like 10 to 11 inches.
Sure.
And that would be perfect for Grimlock.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's always supposed to be taller than everybody else.
Yeah. Because he's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, I stumbled. Hey, I know you.
You do?
Yeah, it's me. It's Martin Van Buren. You know me, man. Come on.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah. What are you doing here? It's been a bit.
Hey, the stars led me here today. After I was on your show, I went down a whole new path. I got into this adventuring business. Yeah.
I see.
I mean, I remember the first time I came here, it's way different outside now. There's like a pit, and there was these guys, and they were like jumping out at me, and I was just wham, and just bow, and just hitting them with my pole. I can shoot fireballs now. It's really cool, man. Should try it sometime. Yeah.
Just try to refrain from shooting any fireballs in our studio. Please.
Well, I mean, listen, the stars led me here for a reason. I mean, I'm supposed to, I kill some sort of god or something?
Let me guess. Someone in a mask told you that you need to slay the god of all creation?
You know him? Oh, man, that guy is a trip. I tell you what.
Yeah. Okay. No, our stage manager is supposed to direct any of the adventurers who want to tangle with him, but
am I interrupting
he must have been busy.
something?
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of a show here.
Oh,
Martin.
hey. Do you want me to give like a reading or something, man? I mean, I can still do that. I still study the stars, you know? I mean, I'm real good at it.
No, it's fine. Look,
Okay.
What you want to do, you just want to hang a right backstage.
Okay.
Then down the hall.
All right.
Then first door on your left, and then there's going to be a mist door in the back wall of the bathroom there, and that'll take you where you need to go.
Right, okay. That sounds sexy. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's going to feel real good on me, because underneath these robes, let me tell you, not much.
So you're packing a different pole also.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, well, you have a good one, man. Oh, yeah.
You too. Good luck, Martin.
Thank you.
Is that sexy Martin Van Buren?
Yeah, that was sexy Martin Van Buren, Justin. I've never actually rooted for one of the adventurers coming through to get killed by Bing Bing's hand, but
yeah,
I think this is the day.
It was bound to happen one of these times, right? Yeah,
I
that
suppose
sounds
so.
right.
Yeah. Well, the main thing that I got up to this week. So I had a work conference that I got to go to.
That's always good. You always want those.
Yeah, and it wasn't the type where I got to travel. It's actually close enough to where I just had to drive back and forth each day.
Okay.
It's about an hour each way. But I've never been to a work conference before, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm actually going. I bought like some new dress shirts. My thing is that none of my current dress shirts could fit around my fat neck, so I couldn't wear ties with them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to wear a tie at this thing. Like, I don't know really what to expect. And so I bought like some larger sized dress shirts with the hope that I could wear a tie with them. Turns out just barely. They barely fit around my neck.
Got you.
But, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to wear a nice dress shirt, nice, tie, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I knew that Thursday Fantastic Four was going to be opening.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, man, I want to go. Since I'm already going to be out, because it was like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I was like, since I'm already going to be out, I'm going to plan to watch Fantastic Four. And there's a theater like actually right around the corner from the venue where the conference was happening. And I was going to go there. But then I was like, it's not that much further to go to the theater where the cute manager is.
Okay.
And
all right.
it's like, okay, let's do that. And if listeners either don't remember or this is like your first episode, it's kind of, there's weird things that happen on this show.
Yeah.
So you should just be prepared for that, as you just saw.
Yeah. Sexy
Anyway.
Martin Van Buren will show up every now and then.
Every now and then.
I
Or
mean,
maybe that was the last time.
That might be the last time, though. Yeah, that might be the last time, Julian. That's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that they showed up just for this one last time.
Yes. I had gone to this theater. It used to be my favorite theater to go to. I used to go there all the time when I lived further south. But one of the days that I was working in the office, I went back to that theater, and a manager there, we had like kind of a little rapport, like a little thing that happened, an exchange that happened, where then I asked you and our guest Stephanie Michelle at the time, I was like, was that a thing? And you guys were like, yeah, that seems like it was probably a thing.
Yeah, possible, yeah.
And that was a while ago now.
Right.
And I haven't said anything because nothing had happened since then.
Sure, yeah.
I had gone to a couple movies at that theater, but either hadn't seen her or had seen her, but she was obviously very busy and I wasn't going to bother her.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll plan on going to see Fantastic Four.
Sure.
But then on Wednesday, because like my thing is like, I hate dealing with rush hour traffic. And also since I've become such a homebody, if I'm already out, I would like to go do something before I go back home.
I get that, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I could just go see a random movie at the same theater tonight. And, because that also doubles my chances of encountering the cute manager.
Right.
And I'm also dressed really nice. So like maybe that'll be like a conversation starter or,
you never know.
Or she doesn't say anything about it, in which case it's like, okay, so then maybe I did misinterpret vibes last time.
You might have. It's you never know with these things. Yeah,
you never know. Yeah, and you and I are both bad with signals.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So
yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna head down there. I'll go figure out what I want to see when I'm. Oh no, I take that back. I had looked it up, and I was looking at these movies, and I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. Like these two seem like a decent time frame from when I leave here. One was I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I had seen the trailer for, which I originally thought was a remake.
No.
And then I was like, oh no, it's actually a sequel because here's Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this at all.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the first moments where I started to feel old, because that's the first time where it's been like, oh, this is, well, if it was a true remake, I would have felt that completely, because it would have been like, the movie's not that old, but it's like, well, no, it's almost 30 years old.
No, it's actually pretty old. Yeah.
Yeah. But just having that idea is like, oh yeah, I guess the stuff that I saw when I was a teenager is now ripe for, introduction to a brand new generation, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But then there was this movie called Eddington, and I looked it up, and it was like, oh, it's got Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And I looked at the synopsis, and it was like set during COVID, and it's like this mayoral fight between a sheriff and the mayor during COVID. And I was like, all right, that sounds kind of interesting. And I love Pedro Pascal. I'm not a big Joaquin Phoenix fan, but I know he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we'll do that.
I've also seen the previews for this movie like a little bit, but don't know anything about it and thought it sounded interesting. So I'm fascinated by whatever you're going to say here.
Yeah, that's all I knew. I had not seen the trailer at all. I'd never even heard the name of the movie.
Right.
And so, get to the theater. She's there, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And first thing is she's like, you look really spiffy today. And I was like, oh, thanks. I had a work thing. And she's like, well, you look very nice. And I was like, oh, thank you. And she was like, what can I do for you? And I'm like, one for Eddington, please. And she's like, oh, boy. And I was like, is that a good oh boy? And she's like, I'm not sure. I've only seen like the last 5 minutes of it. But you know what? Come see me after the movie and let me know what you thought.
Okay.
Like, okay. And so the movie was starting at 6:30. It was like about 5:45. And she was like, did you want any concessions? And I was like, no, I'll come back like when it's closer to when the movie starts. And she's like, yeah, you got like almost an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, but I mean, I have to get here early enough to see Maria Menounos. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, you can't miss out on the movie.
Okay, hold on real quick. Does she show up more than once at your movie theater? Because she always
just the one time, and it's when she's saying, I've got to go.
I've got to go. Yeah, I was like, this is fucking insane. This is fraud. She acts like she's been here the entire fucking time. She isn't.
She used to be at the beginning. She would introduce it.
I know it's a whole thing, but like, or probably was at one point, but she's like, yeah, I got to go. It's like, you were not here. Stop acting like you were here. You did nothing.
Yeah, it's a weird legacy from when because it used to be called the 20, because it would be 20 minutes before the movie would start.
Yeah.
And now it's Newbie.
Yes, now it's Newbie. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same at my theater, which is...
Oh, yeah, it gets piped out to various theaters.
I'm sure. And
now they have like this weird thing where it's like a lot of like cringy bits with like, I guess, online influencers talking about movies.
Oh man, that was fantastic. Yeah, that was a whole thing. Me and Lonnie. So I sorry to derail. I went and seen Superman. We're going to talk about it later. They had these influencers on there talking about Superman, and their big thing was like, we haven't seen the movie yet. It's like, why the fuck are you talking about it like you've seen it? This is wild.
At least that one had Jordan Howlett, who is a person on YouTube that I actually like.
Sure, that's fine. I was like, what the hell? That's so weird.
Yeah. I've seen much worse than that particular segment.
I'm sure it gets worse. I can only imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this was like the first like real interaction I've had with her since that first time.
Right.
And I was like, I went to go use the restroom and I was like, all right, like good rapport,
Sure,
right? Like
yeah.
nice little back and forth.
Seems good.
Also, I introduced myself. I gave her my name. She gave me her name.
Okay.
Said it was nice to meet her. I went to the restroom and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, that was
good.
Oh, and the other thing, I noticed a ring.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go.
So I'm like, okay, so either new friend, unless she's like Polly.
Yeah.
And then I thought there's also maybe like I don't know if some women just like wear a ring to like avoid getting hit on.
That's also possible, but yeah. But it's nice to make new friends, if anything.
It's nice to make new friends, and definitely changing, not expectation. But reorienting like
now
course of events in my head. Right?
Yes, exactly.
But I was like, oh, but she complimented my look. That felt real nice and everything, and then I go to use the restroom. And then I go to zip up my pants, and my zipper busts on my pants.
Oh,
no. Which is the third zipper that has busted in as many months for me.
Yeah.
I'd like to say it's because of the size of my hog. It just, like, my pants can't contain it.
Yeah.
But it's just the size of everything else.
You know, you can just say, you can just tell people that, and it's fine. Just nobody's going to call you out on it.
I mean, if they sleep with me, then they'll call me out on it.
Yeah, but you know... Don't lie to them. Just those people, you know.
Sure,
it'll be fine.
Yeah. So I had to like, I was like, shit. So I had to like untuck the shirt, undo the shirt.
Yeah.
You know, pull my undershirt as far down as it would go, and I go back out to the car to like put my shirt away and everything. And you know, I browsed around the nearby area. I was going to go look at GameStop, but the GameStop there has since closed.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much to do. And when I went back to get concessions, she wasn't there. And I was like, oh.
Right.
Unfortunately. And, you know, before I get to the movie, when I came out, she was not there either. And
sure.
I really probably should have asked if she was around, because she did say, hey, you know, come see me after the movie.
Yeah.
But I just felt like weird asking if she was around.
Yeah, I get you.
So... Justin, you know how like there's those super conservative movies that come out from time to time?
Yeah.
Where it's usually starring like a Kirk Cameron or a Jim Caviezel.
Uh-huh.
And it's usually about like, oh, you know, they're trying to get rid of the Bible, and we Christians are being persecuted, and we're gonna go on this like one-man army like action romp to like save the Bible.
Yes.
Or you know, something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's how Eddington feels.
Okay, interesting.
And I felt like I had been bamboozled.
Okay, yeah, I would have felt the same way considering who's in it, because I'm like,
you think?
Yeah, right. That I'd been like. Because I seen Pedro Pascal in it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's a cool guy." Like
I went to see the movie because of Pedro Pascal.
him. I seen him in it. I was like, "Oh, that's probably pretty good," because like I really like him. He seems like a cool dude. Like, yeah, okay,
yeah. His politics align with mine,
right?
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna spoil a good chunk of this movie.
Okay, that's fine.
To save you.
Okay, that's good.
So Eddington takes place in May of 2020.
Sure.
And it's in a small town in New Mexico. And keep in mind, for most of the movie, I had gotten it into my head that it was based on true events.
Okay.
It is not.
Okay, fair.
Joaquin Phoenix is the main character. He's the sheriff of this small town,
sure,
Eddington. And his thing is he's just flabbergasted at the trampling of people's rights to. He has asthma and he can't wear a mask in a store.
Oh boy.
And he sees like someone being shoved out of a store because they wouldn't put a mask on because they're old and they have breathing problems.
Right.
And he just can't believe that like you would persecute people like this. And the movie is so aggressively anti-mask and like really from that perspective that I felt bamboozled. I was fucking shocked.
Yeah.
especially because of Pedro Pascal being in it.
Right.
Now, to be fair, he's not in it very much. It is Joaquin Phoenix's show.
Okay.
He is in 95% of the scenes of this movie.
Sure.
But he decides like, well, this isn't going to stand, and so I'm going to run for mayor because the mayor is imposing these draconian restrictions on us as a people. You know, we deserve to live our lives and decide if we want to wear a mask or not. And it goes to pains to show just how badly this person was treated for not wearing a mask.
I guess I should have known, given the fact that it was really adamant, like in the description, that it's set during COVID. I was like, that's a weird thing to say. I don't know why that was a weird thing to say. There's a thing. I mean, that's fine to say, but I don't know. It just made such a point of it. Like the description that I read of it, I remember was really brief, and that was like one of the things. Like,
yeah, and you know, I think myself, like a lot of people, are still trying to process 2020 and beyond.
There's ways you can do a COVID set movie that I would find fascinating, but like at this,
for sure. And my problem has actually been that I feel that like Hollywood as a whole has almost memory hold COVID. Like I've seen very few movies or TV shows that outright talk about COVID.
Right.
I've seen a couple things talk around it or say like there was a pandemic but not the pandemic,
right?
Or like with TV shows, they had like their one episode that addressed it and then everything was back to normal. And I found that to be like, so we're just as a people just not even going to try to attempt to evaluate this.
It bums us all out, Julian. We can't have that. That's probably the Hollywood mentality is like, well, we don't want to bum the audience out, you know.
So that's like the A plot.
Sure.
And sorry, like and like it goes to like these great pains to show like the persecution of this guy who didn't wear a mask, and I'm like, I'm sure that happened occasionally in some places, but my recollection, and also, you know, I was living, you know, in Austin at the time, so a much more liberal area than I am now, where the general vibe when you would see somebody inside a place not wearing a mask was just kind of side eye, like look at this selfish motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
Look at this asshole, and then just go about your business and try to stay away from them.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Or it was the other way around, where it was a bunch of people going the opposite route of when people would wear masks, of like, no, you need to take it off, and it was that sort of thing, right? Yeah.
So that's the A plot. Like the sheriff decides to, you know, run for mayor, and so it's him putting together his campaign, and you can tell that there's an element of like he's obviously like, because there's like a knee-jerk reaction. He didn't plan for it,
right?
And so he's not prepared for it. Pedro Pascal's character is obviously a much more seasoned politician, and also you can tell that there's like beef between them from the past.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the B plot, which is there's this white kid. He's like a you know, I think he's like I don't know if he's high school age or like right out of high school.
Sure.
He's friends with the mayor's son, who obviously is Hispanic.
Yeah.
They go to a gathering, you know, which again, you got to cast yourself back to where like that was not a thing that you were really supposed to do at the time. And the main kid, I think his name is Billy. He's into this one girl, and the mayor's son is like, oh, don't mess with her. She's just so on her SJW bullshit. Like, don't even try.
Okay.
But he still tries to like, you know, strike up a conversation with her.
Right.
And she's, you know, very, very liberal. And his thing becomes like, so he starts to like kind of parrot her talking points to get closer to her.
Oh God.
And then the George Floyd killing happens, and so the protesting starts, and so he's going to that. But surprisingly, even though that he is manufacturing his interest in this subject, the girl that he's interested in actually has no interest in him back, and instead is more interested in the mayor's son. And when Billy sees them kind of, you know, making out and stuff, I was like, Oh, so this is good. He's going to go down like the Tate route. Like this is going to be the story of him like getting indoctrinated into the far right.
This is how the incel begins right there.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
No. He gets indoctrinated into Antifa.
Oh.
And
oh god.
The movie's supposed to be a dark comedy.
Okay.
And most of the comedy, I put in sneer quotes, stems from delighting in making fun of like the white kids in this town who are trying to become cognizant of their own privilege and are protesting George Floyd's murder.
Sure.
Protesting on behalf of Black Lives Matter, calling for the abolition of the police.
Sure.
And they actually say themselves, like, we understand that, like, this isn't really our fight, but we're using our privilege in order to bring light on it, which I think is actually, like, that's kind of the point, right? Like, understand, like, the whole thing is understanding that there is privilege in, you know, depending on race or different factors, understanding that you have that privilege and being able to really just kind of be cognizant of it and maybe be able to use it to fight for more equality, right? But that's not. But the movie just like it loves taking the piss out of them. So it cuts to a scene where he's explaining whiteness to his parents at the dinner table and how ideally we would get to this point where we have more equality and we understand, we check our privilege and we understand that things aren't on a level playing field and whatnot. And he's trying to explain all of this to his parents. And then there's like a silence for a beat. And then his dad is like, are you effing R word? Like, you're white. And then that's the punchline. And then it cuts to the next thing. And that's this movie.
Yeah. Got it.
And then, so the last part of the movie turns into like an action movie shootout where Joaquin Phoenix's sheriff is having like a full on Rambo style showdown.
So
with militarized Antifa agents.
Okay, so the way they preview this movie, if I remember right, is it's a lot of like snippets, and I remember like people with like guns and shit, and I was like, is this like, this almost looks like a Western of some sort. That's why it looked fascinating to me. And I was like, oh, that might be like a modern day, like Western type thing. Like I could get into that. Like that might be all right. And okay, that's probably now I know where it's from. Jesus fuck. Okay.
Yeah. And okay, so it's possible that I have misinterpreted parts of this movie.
It's possible.
It may be that like the militarized Antifa people are supposed to be people that are trying to make that movement look bad,
right?
By committing all of these atrocities. But that having been said, that is not the message that your average person is going to get from this movie.
Right.
And the sheriff, even though he ends up doing some heinous shit, is still framed as like he's the hero of the movie.
Right.
And he has this like triumph, or not, he has this heroic one versus many showdown with these people. And I honestly think that the takeaway that your average person is going to be is like, yeah, man, fuck those libs. Like, you know, he really showed them what for. And it was dreadful, Justin. It's one of the worst movies that I've seen in a long time.
That sounds pretty bad. Yeah.
And I went home and I was like, I got to see what people are saying about this shit. So I looked up some movie reviews. And the first thing that I saw was I didn't recognize it. It was some kind of video essay on it / review. And he was like, man, it was just such a real refreshing look, like this very centrist view of what was going on in 2020. And I'm like, centrist? Okay, that's a take.
That's a take, yeah.
That is not how I see this at all. And again, perhaps I am misinterpreting. And you know, I will say there are some little like jabs, you know, where they poke fun at Joaquin Phoenix's character.
Right.
But they're very light, and it is very heavy-handedly just going to town on people who were protesting for Black Lives Matter, who were anti-fascist.
Right.
and really like, do you see how terrible it was for the people who couldn't wear masks or didn't want to wear a mask? It was bad for them. It was really bad.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
When you get to like the mayor's house, because obviously he is like very much about like at least trying to stick with the mandates and stuff like that. He's got this big stockpile of toilet paper in his living room, and it's a blink and you miss it thing, but like the implication is there, right? Like, oh, the mayor is actually the bad guy because look at see he was hoarding the stuff for himself and blah blah blah. Man, again, I felt
bamboozled.
Bamboozled,
absolutely. Yeah.
I may as well have watched a movie about.
You might as well have watched Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus God. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm super glad. Because I would have been like, what the fuck am I watching? Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something interesting. Okay. Cool. I can avoid that now. I don't have to watch that. Good.
Yeah. And then I went to go see Fantastic Four the next night. She was not there. So I am glad that I ended up going to see Eddington simply because that was where the interaction happened. Because I would not have seen her if I only went to go see the one movie.
Right.
And yeah, I'm not going to go too hard on Fantastic Four, but I will say that it is, in my opinion, damn near perfect for a comic book movie.
Cool.
I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. My friend Joe in Colorado and friend of the show John Gholson are massive Fantastic Four fans. I know enough of the characters from the comic books to know that the previous 3 movies have not been it. They have not understood those characters.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all 3 of those movies, but it's easy for me to enjoy a movie. I don't. It doesn't take much to entertain Julian.
Oh yeah. I have the ability to turn my brain off sometimes and watch a movie, but not all the time. I don't know. Even movies I don't like, I will find entertainment in just making fun of them as they're playing. So yeah.
Yeah. So having said that, this movie 100% nails these characters. Like this is Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and The Thing.
Cool.
As pulled from the comic book pages.
Right.
And thankfully, it's also like the classic versions of them. And because there's been a big push in the last 20 plus years to really kind of recontextualize Reed Richards as kind of a just shy of an emotionless monster. Because he's like so committed to the science that he doesn't see the forest for the trees, and like he doesn't relate to his wife and child, and he will always do the Occam's razor approach no matter the cost. So like even if it means the worst for them, but it's the most logical thing, like he'll do it. And to the point that like he's actually become like a supervillain in certain parts. I think in the Ultimate Universe, he's a straight up supervillain.
Yeah.
At a certain point. Here, he is more just he is a serious scientist who is grounded by his wife.
Right.
And also has the support of his best friend in The Thing and his brother-in-law in Human Torch.
Right.
And that family dynamic really keeps him centered. But in the movie, he does like acknowledge that he's like, there is something wrong with me. Like the way that I look at the world is not correct.
Right.
And I'm aware of that. And at the same time, like the science leads me here, but I have Sue to kind of keep me on the path.
Right.
And so they acknowledge it without like making him just like this unrelatable science-y man. Like he's a very affable person, but serious. And that's the other thing that was so nice to see, is that the tone was spot on. Where, again, Reed, very serious person. He's not cracking jokes. He's not making quips. There's occasionally funny things that result because of his reactions to things or whatnot.
Right.
Sue is like a very supportive partner to him and is there to kind of take him down a peg when he needs it, but also support him when he needs it. It's a very beautiful relationship. And then you have Johnny and Ben, where they're just constantly taking the piss out of each other. They're just like antagonizing each other. There's a great part where Reed's off stewing somewhere, and they're just like in like one of the bedrooms, and the thing is like, really appreciate you going downstairs to talk to Reed, and Johnny's like, no, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. But I really am thankful that you're going to go down and talk to Reed on my behalf, because I appreciate it. He's like, no, you know what? Actually, I am just so happy that you took one for the team and you're going to go to talk to Reed. And they just go back and forth like that for a bit. And it's just like a really great bit of banter. The beginning of the movie does this really great way of like bringing you up to speed. It's a lot. We'll talk about Superman in a bit, but it's a lot like Superman, where it's like, we've established these characters before. We're just going to give you like a quick refresher. We don't need to relitigate their origin story.
Yeah.
This movie actually takes place on the 4-year anniversary of them becoming the Fantastic Four.
Okay, cool.
So they've already had all these adventures, and they talk about the adventures they've had. And as a comic book fan, I just had the biggest grin on my face, because they're mentioning characters that you would never expect to see in a movie. And you wouldn't want them to be in a movie, because they're not movie grade villains, but they're still given lip service to. And it's like, cool. I just love the fact that these characters are allowed to exist in this movie.
Yeah.
That, without it being this silly, like, they're like, no, the Puppet Master did this, and the Fantastic Four stopped them. And it's like, I love the fact that they mentioned the Puppet Master by name. That warms my heart so much. And yeah, I think the big core of it is that family dynamic of the four of them, and it works so well. And the 60s aesthetic, I never did understand if it's supposed to be set in the 60s of this universe.
Yeah, it seems a little confusing from
and I wish that they
had
had given confirmation on that.
Right.
Because eventually when they do show up in the main MCU universe, it's obviously going to be very different, but I don't know if they're going to be traveling not only through dimensions, but also time.
Yeah,
or if it's just going to be like, our reality is just very different, and it, what have you. But my only couple like small complaints is that I think there's a couple places where they should have had Reed be like the focal point of a scene where he takes a back seat to Sue. There's a couple parts where he doesn't really feel like the leader of the team.
Sure.
But only a couple parts. And then I think they changed Silver Surfer for like no real good reason. And Silver Surfer is a very near and dear character to my heart.
Yeah, I seen kind of what they did there.
It's not just swapping the who the character is and the gender, because it's not that now Norrin Rad is a woman. It's actually a character from Silver Surfer's history that is the Silver Surfer in his place.
Sure.
My thing is the power set is like way different.
Okay,
and I think that they did change who Silver Surfer is to explain why the powers are different. But I'm like, but you could have just written the Silver Surfer as a Silver Surfer, and I don't think that it would have changed anything.
Yeah.
Other than it gives like Johnny an excuse to be like, to kind of have a crush on her.
Okay.
But I'm like, I could have done without that part of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I really want like a really good version of my Silver Surfer, and I want to see him wielding the power cosmic as he should. The only character that's done, because there's not really a lot of characters in the MCU that have like energy blasts, and I always loved the energy blasts in comic books. Like, if you go back and look at like a Ron Lim Silver Surfer comic book from that run, like the way that he drew the power cosmic is so cool.
Yeah.
And like, I want to see that in movie form. And like, the only character that's come close to that is Ms. Marvel. Or sorry, Captain Marvel, not Ms.
Captain
Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
But she's like kind of the only one with energy blasts.
Yeah.
That come like from her body. Like you have like Iron Man, obviously, but maybe it's the Dragon Ball Z fan in me, but I love me a good old energy blast.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you liked it. That's cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
Cool.
It's excellent.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention real quick, and this will lead into the Superman discussion, is that I had tears in my eyes for a good majority of the movie because it is such an excellent, hopeful movie.
Right.
With like superheroes really being superheroes and doing everything that they possibly can to save the day.
Cool.
And seeing the way that the people react to them that way is like just loved it.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad.
Yes.
All right. What now?
You saw Superman.
I did see Superman. That did happen. Are we doing like what? How do you want to do this part exactly? Should we?
I guess if you want to talk about like just like over like real
broad,
brief. Yeah, and then we are going to get into like a spoiler conversation.
Yeah,
like,
which
if you don't want a spoiler conversation, then once we start that, you can just log off because this will be the last thing that we're covering for the episode.
So my overall thoughts on Superman are pretty similar to yours, where I liked most of that movie. I thought it was pretty good. There are bits and pieces here and there that I was like, all right. Like, I guess there is a lot of, it's been a while since I've like been to like a movie like that, where it's a lot of CG basically. And there's like stuff where I was just like, yeah, this is like pretty hard to follow, or sometimes I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, this doesn't actually look that good. Like, I don't know what it is.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And there's even like, I think we've gone so far with it where like so much is also on green screen.
Yeah.
Like, so I saw on Twitter that James Gunn had posted like behind the scenes footage of him with one of the Superman robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what's worse. The fact that they looked like CG to me in the movie.
Yeah.
Or the fact that I never even entertained the thought that they could have possibly been actual things in.
No, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. I honestly didn't. I thought the same thing you did, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's weird. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was very fun. I didn't know if I was going to or not, because it's been a while since I've seen a comic book movie or anything like that.
Yeah. I also don't know what your feelings on Superman are in general.
For a while, I'm kind of like, they're fine, but I'm not like the biggest fan of Superman or anything like that. But like, I've watched, those movies and stuff like that. I've read some of the comics. I bought Death of Superman and all that stuff and read that as a kid. Watched, plenty of cartoons with them in it, played decent amount of video games with him in it. I don't hate Superman at all. I think I find them the older I get, the more fascinating of a character I find them, actually, because they're one that the more you think about, the more interesting they can be. There's like a lot of potential and stuff, and the struggle is different from other superheroes because they're so powerful. But there was a time in my life, in my edgelord days, I guess, where I was like, well, Superman's just too powerful. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's kind of lame. But like, then I got older, and I'm like, well, that's kind of the push and pull, I guess, is that like, yeah, he can do that, but he can't be everywhere and all that stuff. And there's a responsibility that comes with having that much power. It's kind of, there's an interesting dynamic there. That story's from a comic, right? Like, I can't remember what it's like. Part of it is anyway.
I believe, from what I've seen, it's kind of a amalgamation of a couple stories.
That's what
neither
I
of which I've read.
Yeah,
one I believe I think it takes some stuff from All Star Superman, and I think it also takes some stuff from a relatively recent story. I don't remember the name of it.
Is it called Birthright?
Birthright.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's because I was looking into that stuff after I watched it. I was like, oh, maybe I should look into some of this stuff. Yeah. But overall, I liked it. I thought the little superhero team that's in it was kind of fun. I wasn't ever like confused. There was definitely like characters that I'm like, I honest to God don't know who this is. Like there's a certain guy that shows up at some point that seemed very important to stuff because he was made of things. And I was like, okay, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. But people do, and that's cool. I really liked Mr. Terrific, right? That guy. Yeah. That guy was great. He was fantastic.
I think he's a big standout.
He was probably my favorite part of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I love his voice so much.
Yeah. I didn't hate, like, Lex Luthor seems pretty, I mean, they're obviously a bad guy. I like how they're basically the type of Lex Luthor that will just fucking destroy everything just to beat Superman. They're just like, oh yeah, that's what I do. I don't care. I just want to win. Which is
there's a great line where he says, I'll stop it when it gets to a city that I care about. Yeah. Yeah. There was definitely a lot of relevance to, like, you know, modern day stuff too. It was cool. I really liked it. There was parts that, like, I didn't love. And that would be like have to go into like more spoilery stuff, I guess. So I don't want to do all that. But overall, I did enjoy it. I thought it was very fun. I liked Jimmy Olsen dating everybody was pretty fun too. That was good. Yeah. And apparently that is like a thing in the books where
I think
he's kind of irresistible
John
to
was
girls.
talking about that, I think, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I'm not super familiar with all that stuff, so but like
me either. Like I'm aware of like the Daily Planet staff, but
I think everybody, most people are to a certain degree, right? Like you kind of like, they're kind of iconic characters. Like I watched plenty of Lois and Clark in my day. Yeah, I know the bit pretty much.
I like that this is like a Jimmy Olsen that actually he's got like reddish hair and he actually has freckles, because that's like one of his like defining traits in the comic books. Yeah. But usually he's like way hotter in the live action version. Yeah. Like I remember like the Jimmy in Lois and Clark is like a really good looking dude. Right. And he doesn't come across as like G. Willikers Superman the way that he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And this one does.
Yes, very much so. But yeah, it was a good movie. I think we all, because I went with other people. I went with 3 other people, and we all kind of came out like, yeah, that was good. That was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't love every single bit of it, but like I liked it way more than I thought I was going to, because I was like, ooh, I don't know. This, just the entire time I was like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see how this goes. And for the most part, I was highly sports entertained.
I think the main thesis of Superman as a character in this movie is something very needed right now. Mm-hmm. It was very refreshing.
I agree. Yeah. There was definitely a couple parts where I definitely got a little misty-eyed. It was good in a good way, a very good way. So yeah, good movie.
Me too. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So we'll get into spoilers now if y'all are still haven't seen it, or you don't want spoilers because you're waiting for like, home video or something. Yeah, home video. That's what we call it now.
Yes,
you're waiting for
home video.
You're waiting for your VHS copy.
The Lion King on VHS.
But feel free to bow out now, because this will be the last bit. We're not going to do comments, questions, and concerns this week. So mainly because my voice continues to go and I am tired.
Yeah,
it is well beyond Scoster Day at this point.
It is well beyond Scoster Day. We could hit the bit. You can all. That's how we'll do it, right?
Yeah.
Once you hear Scoster Day, that's a good time to tune out. Here it goes. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, so I didn't like that. I thought the bit with I know I'm sure it's a thing in the actual books, but like I kind of thought the whole bit that like, oh, I cloned Superman was kind of fucking. I didn't actually think that was lame. I just hated the fight. I don't know what it was about it.
It's bad.
Yeah, I hated it. Like the entire there was something like when you said you summed it up last time you were talking about it, where you're like, there's times in this movie where I can't tell what's happening. That was a big one. I could tell what was happening. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I just wasn't that into it. You want him to have a fight with fucking Lex. I don't know how you do it, but like I know like they've done it in other stuff, like where like he'll like have this random fucking mech suit and he's going to war with the guy and shit like that.
Dude, honestly, now that you say it, this would have been the perfect movie to bring out armored Lex,
right?
Because it felt so aggressively comic book.
Yes,
that would have made a lot of sense. And I think the thing that you wouldn't know, because you're not into the comics, is that they kind of burn two characters, and I guess there's speculation that that he'll change into one of them. But Ultraman is the version of Superman from one of the other realities that is a villain,
right?
That has his own costume and stuff like that. But the clone of Superman that Lex creates in the comics becomes Bizarro.
Okay.
But he's not Bizarro here, but I guess the speculation is that the place that he ended up,
because he got kicked into a black hole. Okay. All right.
That he'll come back as Bizarro.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish that it was either Bizarro or, well, yeah, I don't even know if I want Ultraman, because that's a bit much for a first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really torn on that aspect of it.
Yeah, because that for as somebody who doesn't know, I've never really heard of Ultraman other than like wasn't that like the Japanese superhero was yeah okay, that's my confusion. When I heard the name, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's from the comics, but that was also a thing that I know the man grew very big. When I heard it, I was kind of like, I don't know why that's super corny and like it just felt weird that like there was this guy that was like, okay, I was confused by him the whole time, because I was like, okay, is he like another Superman, or is this like a guy that Lex has powered up somehow? I don't know. I didn't really care for it.
No, I didn't either.
He also has like no build up, really. I mean, he does you because it's like, we did the whole hammer of whatever that country
Baravia.
Was. Yeah, Baravia thing. I guess he kicks Superman's ass. I guess, okay, cool. But like he doesn't like act like, I don't hate him. I don't like Lex. Like because Lex is the asshole here, obviously. But like it just seems weird that like, I don't know, he's just like, I did this and that's why I'm getting back at him. I don't know. I just wasn't the biggest fan of that part of the movie. I don't know what it was.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And I think there's also an element, and this because, look, every comic book hero has like their doppelganger that they fight at some point.
Yeah.
But an issue with the comic book movies has been that a lot of them, especially in the MCU, they have used the first movie to be like, here's their doppelganger, right? So in Iron Man, he fights Ironmonger. In Black Panther, he fights the Gold Panther or whatever. There's like another guy in the Panther suit.
Okay.
In Ant-Man, he fights Yellow Jacket, who's got like the same basic power set,
Sure.
right? It happens all the time in these movies, and so it was a little disappointing. And there's other stuff going on. I really liked the Engineer. I hadn't
cool.
heard of her before.
They were really cool. Yeah, I actually thought they were I almost thought you could like, if that was like Lex's main super powered ally there, and then also he's like working on something else to fuck over Superman, like, oh, but I'm working on this suit because I know Superman so well and I just need a way to match him blow for blow.
Taking your idea, I think it actually would have been cool if the Hammer of Baravia was one of Luthor's henchman in a suit,
right?
That Luthor is controlling, like you see in the movie, where he's like 1A, or 2C.
Do the whole thing, yeah.
And then and it's the same guy fighting Superman, like in the climax at the beginning of the climax, like in the stadium. But then Superman beats him, and then Lex is like, "I'll do it myself," and then he has a even more powerful suit that he puts on that is analyzing the stuff in real time and telling him how to fight.
Because you want to see Lex get punched in the face. Like it'll be fun. Like that'll be great. And then it's truly brain versus brawn instead of like, no, it's actually just brawn versus brawn, but like you're just telling him you're just kind of whispering in his ear or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I that's what I wanted. The entire time I kept waiting for it too, because that's kind of what I thought they were doing, actually.
The other big problem I have with that final act, and it also adds to the chaos of the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Is you have this, like, the world is literally being split.
Yeah.
Right. And the level of destruction is to such a high degree, especially for a first movie.
Yeah.
That it's a little bit out of control. And I'm like, I know that they say that like they evacuated the city. It's like, there is no way that you eevacuated that many people in that amount of time. Like, there should be so many casualties here.
It does come back together at the end, right? Like,
they close the tear, but I mean, still the damage to like the city is immense.
It's fucking done for. Like, like you split it clear in half. Yeah.
Like, there is so the amount of damage that happens to Metropolis in this movie is equivalent to what happens in Batman Cataclysm, which results in the entirety of Gotham City being declared a no man's land by the U.S. government and just written off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit much. Like, it's like, I don't think you needed to do that. Like,
I don't. Yeah, I really didn't like that part.
Why does he do it again? Like,
to get Superman to come to. He's like, now we know where Superman's going to be, and it's like, I feel there's other ways that you could get Superman.
Yeah, I know they're trying to aim for like, well, he's desperate and he'll go to any length. So I'm like, yeah, but you can do that anyway. Like, you can do that almost any. He's gonna show up. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
and like destroying like his building and stuff like that. It's just like, again, I like, to your point, it's to show how tilted he is over Superman.
Right.
But it's a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also didn't like that it was like their first time meeting. I feel that like that was like, really, like, you've never been face to face like in these 3 years.
Yeah, right. Like, it seems like they're so pissed off at each other and don't like each other that Lex would have tried some shit already and it didn't work, and now we're desperate. Like, I feel like that would have maybe explained the escalation there of like, no, fuck it, rip open the tear in the fucking universe now, because like, I gotta get this fucking guy, like, make him a little more desperate or whatever. But
yeah, it's more of what I was saying last week, where my favorite version of Lex is where Superman can't actually pin anything on him because he's so far ahead that he's got contingency plans to insulate himself from the bad shit that he's doing.
Yeah.
To where like Superman feels in his gut that Lex is behind this, but he can't. But at the end of the day, Lex goes free. Where here it's like, this is mask off. Like, everybody knows who Lex Luthor is now. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that.
The one bit I do like is that, like, nobody ultimately he can't. I guess he can't really pin it on Lex. It'd be tough. So, well, I mean, he kind of can, because but a lot of it comes from like him getting exposed through the news. I did like how they like actually made the news being truthful like a thing. I thought that was kind of cool. How like, no, like, really what brings him down is us exposing him and him trying to take over this country for himself and doing all this like actual evil shit. And like, I thought that was like a cool thing. But still, the caveman in me want to see man get punched. Just once. But I did like that aspect. I was like, that is a cool way to do it. Like, yes, Superman is powerful, but he can't but he needs help, and he needs like the people to see this person for what they really are, and this is how he does it, or how they do it, because of stuff.
What were your thoughts on the other pretty divisive plot point, which is the reason that he was sent to Earth by his parents?
I don't know how I felt about that. I didn't really hate it. You kind of need it. Well, you don't need it, I guess. But I think if you want to give the character an inner conflict, I think that's a decent way to do it.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see a scenario. I'm gonna guess that's what that Birthright comic is, just in the name, right?
So what I understand from the Birthright comic is it's actually more of Lex's plan in this movie, which is to alter, like he alters the information.
He alters it
to yeah.
So
here they're just like, no, this is actually what
they wanted. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But but at the same time, it goes into kind of what Superman is. Yeah, he could take over everything in an instant if he really wanted to, but he doesn't, because he's a good guy and he was raised by these good people and sees the planet for what he thinks it should be. And I think that's kind of cool. It kind of adds a little like depth to him, like I do like how the people are important to him, and them turning on him, you can tell, hurts him a lot.
Yes. One of my favorite lines is when Pa Kent tells him the fact that what you believed the message to be versus what it actually is says way more about you than what the message is telling you that you are. And I do like the fact that, because I think it leads to like two of my favorite moments, which is I do really love that whole scene with him and his dad. It's such a great scene. But then like the end where I've seen it twice now. It got me both times. Right. Where, he's like watching like, the footage of his parents, and now it's his real parents, the ones that raised him, not the ones that birthed him. And the smile on his face is just so beautiful.
I didn't hate that plot point. I didn't. I can understand why it'd be divisive. Because at first I was kind of like, I don't. Is that how it was? Like, was that a thing that they did? Because I don't know comics, and I could see them doing that at some point. Like, oh, the twist was Superman was supposed to take over, but he didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that in the canon that's the case, but I know that there has been, like, as they've delved more into what Kryptonian society, you learn that they were kind of assholes as a species. Yeah. So I get the reasoning for the change. I really didn't like it when it happened the first time I saw it. When I chewed on it some more, I was fine with it.
When it first came up, I was kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about where this is going. Mm-hmm. And then as it went, and they it kind of, I let it cook and seen where they were going. I didn't hate it by the end of the movie.
I also don't like how quickly they turn on him.
It's very
the
fast.
People, the citizens of Metropolis in this movie are slightly stupider than the population of South Park, the cartoon.
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel that you in particular would have been like, why the fuck are you still there?
There was like when you were watching it. There was more than once that I was befuddled by that. To call back to earlier. It was definitely a little wild. People just don't leave. It's like the giant this giant gremlin looking thing is here now. Go about your business. It's fine. Don't avoid any of it. Like, really? Okay.
Again, the hero shot of him shielding the girl from those canisters is an amazing shot.
It is.
But I'm like, little girl, why are you still there?
Yeah.
Like you were only a few feet away from this 50-foot tall kaiju.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I did enjoy the scene in, I want to say it, I can't remember which one of their apartments it is, but in the apartment where the superheroes are just fighting shit in the background, and he's just like,
yes.
they got it, it's fine.
Yeah.
That was fun.
She's like, were you helping them? And he's like, what? And he like looks out, he's like, oh no, that's just, they got that.
They got that. That's,
which I appreciate. Like, one of the things that I love about the MCU, and one of the things that I always hated about superhero movies before the MCU, was the idea that every single one of them, because of licensing, were by default the only heroes in those
heroes
worlds.
In their universe. And now they definitely took the right memos from that stuff now, because now it feels like a living breathing world, as they always say in video games a little bit.
Yeah. And it's like, you already know that Flash is out in Keystone City, and you know that this is probably the second Green Lantern that the world has seen at this point. You know, Wonder Woman is out doing stuff. You know that Batman is romping around and you know all of this stuff, and it's great that that's the thing. Right. I hope that when they invariably have Batman and Superman meet up, it is not, we're meeting for the first time. Like, I hope it's just like, you know, like they just have a scene where it's like, how are you doing, Bruce?
Yeah,
and,
that's what I want to.
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be. I agree. I love, like I said, I loved Mr. Terrific. I thought he was really fun. His like fight scene that he gets with the force field, I actually thought was really cool.
It's amazing.
That shit was fucking badass. I was like, that was good. That was pretty fucking good.
I think that's what makes like the chaos of the fight at the end so disappointing.
Right? I think they're trying to make it seem like, well, these are two like Supermen, and this is how Supermen would fight. It's so insane that you can hardly tell what's going on, but they can tell what's going on. It's like, yeah, but I kind of want to know what's going on.
I wish that they would take at least a few cues from any Dragon Ball Z fight.
Right, yeah.
Because that stuff is also like they're moving faster than normal people can see, but the way that the fights are choreographed and animated is very readable.
Also, can the clone not talk? Is that like confirmed? Can he just not say anything?
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do with that, because Bizarro talks in opposites.
Right, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. But here, and then Ultraman is just, I mean, he's Superman, but he's evil.
Sure.
So
but he would talk.
He would talk.
Let
yeah.
him talk
So
some
I don't
shit,
know. I don't know what, because again, this seems to be like an amalgamation of two different characters.
Yeah.
And also maybe taking a little bit of a cue from Nuclear Man in Superman 4.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Because he's also a clone of Superman.
Yeah.
Cloned from a piece of hair.
Sure.
So
yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
So it's hard to say what the rules are for that character.
I don't know either. I just noticed that they never said anything. I was like, I just wanted a reason to not like them more. You know, like you could give them some wild evil lines or something. I don't know. Talk some shit, man. That's all I'm saying.
Or give him something that makes you empathize with him.
Right.
That you could go that route as well.
Yeah, you could do a lot of things, Julian. You really can. The part in like the little pocket dimension was also another part that I thought was a little all over the place, and the CG was like really kind of hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, and that's another one of the parts where, because I do, you know, one of my bigger complaints is, you know, how often Superman needs to be saved in this movie.
Right.
And a lot of times by Crypto, and the Crypto stuff I think is like, it was cute, but I felt like it was a bit too much.
Yeah, he's used a lot. It's I like that he had to go save the dog, though. I thought that was nice.
No, I love.
That's very Superman.
The portrayal of Superman in this movie is
great.
absolutely my favorite part.
He goes to save the dog, and then the Element Man is there, and I can't remember a lot of stuff. But like the scene that I thought was really hard to read was when he has the baby, and they're in this like river, and it's like, I don't know, motherfuckers are just shooting. Like, it is like a lot of cuts. And I was just like, man, I can't make up fucking heads or tails of what's happening here. And I think that's what they're going for. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're like, no, it's just chaos, and Superman can't make sense of it either. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. It feels like Kevin Dunn directed this part, and I'm not a big fan of it.
And it feels like that baby should have been submerged in that lake like 5 times.
Right? Yeah. It's Superman. It's fine. I don't know.
No, I'm right there with you.
Wasn't a big fan of that bit. But I the Element guy was fun though. I thought he was kind of neat.
Like 100% comic accurate. It was crazy.
Yeah,
that they would bring. Because that character design is so ridiculous.
Lonnie told me his name, and I can't remember it now. Metamorpho, that's it. Yeah. Because they don't really tell you his name there.
Well, they call him the Element Man. They call him the Element Man. He can metamorphize.
Yes.
So they flip it.
Right.
Because I think he's Metamorpho, the Element Man.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah. What else? I just about covered everything. Oh, I really liked Hawk Girl. She was fun.
Oh, that is a thing that I do have a deep problem with this movie, because the obviously like the big inciting incident happens before the movie, which is that Superman stopped this conflict from erupting between Baravia invading Jaranpur.
Yeah.
And the world is like, he can't just act unilaterally.
There's
repercussions to this that he didn't think about. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But then the movie ends with like Hawk Girl just like murdering the president of Baravia in cold blood.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
just so that she can say like, I'm not like Superman.
Yeah,
and it's like, and there is some lip service paid after the fact where like one of the government guys is like, well, I hope you're happy. I'm glad that you like the metahumans. Rick, because like they're running the show now.
Yeah.
But I still I do not like, so I have a problem in the MCU because they're very very glib about killing people.
Sure.
But it's one thing to kill somebody who has powers or is a threat.
Yeah.
That you are fighting versus just killing a powerless person in cold blood.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene entirely.
A hero should not do that unless you're like the fucking Punisher or something like that.
No, I have to agree with you. I just liked how fucking nonchalant goth girl she was. That was my thing. But like, she was a fun character. But like, that is a bit that I was like, I forgot all about that shit.
Yeah. I thought Nathan Fillion was great as Guy Gardner.
Yeah, he was fun. He was really fun. Yeah, that whole bit was really fun.
And again, I love the fact that like they tell you just enough that you need to know. Like he says that he was deputized by the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Like, but you don't have to go into it very deep. And I love the fact that he uses the vow to like get out of things here and there.
Yeah, it was fun. It was the Justice Gang was a fun bit. I liked it. And so was the big line that people were talking about, was it the punk rock line? Because that line is really good. That is a really good line.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And I think it is telling of this movie that like we have spent all this time talking about the Superman movie, hardly talking about the character of Superman.
Yeah.
Which is a problem of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think of Superman?
Of Superman?
Yeah.
Just of him
as a character.
As a character. I liked him. He was like, that's like, to me, like what Superman would be, kind of.
Yeah.
He was just, he always did the right thing. He was like, no matter what it was, like that was his, like, that's why he was like, I loved when they were talking about like she's doing in like the interview with him. He's like, people were going to die. Like, I wasn't going to let that happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what the fucking consequences. He didn't say that, but like, but I don't care what the consequences were. People were going to die. I wasn't going to let that happen. Like he goes and saves a dog. He saves a squirrel in the middle of a fight because that's Superman. Like nobody gets hurt on his watch, and when they do, he is very upset about it. I
love that during the kaiju fight, Mr. Terrific is like, have you encountered any weaknesses? He's like, well, I'm trying to take it down without killing it, and he's like, go for the eyes. And Superman is like, man. No, I really loved that aspect of him. Like I said last week, like just being so aggressively good because he can't think of doing it any other way.
Right.
And I saw it's very telling that they're like the worst people on the internet see this version of Superman as pathetic and like not a good character, but they're also the same people who find Homelander from The Boys to be like the hero
icon. The
show.
Guy who is made to be basically the opposite of Superman, but present himself as Superman. That's the bit. Like, and
I saw a great comparison on Tumblr where it was the Superman speech, which I love, where he's like, I'm human. He's like, I get up, I try to do the best, I make mistakes, but I do it again, because it's all that I know how to do, and that's what makes me human.
Yeah.
And then there's a Homelander quote where he's like, I'm better than you in every single way.
Yeah.
Like, why would I even try to like how do you think that you're even worthy of me or something along those lines? And this is the character that like a lot of people think is like someone to be commended or lauded.
It should be noted that I believe one of the main people that writes that show or makes that show basically came out and said like, I base most of what the Homelander on the show after Trump, like like straight up, like that's what he goes for. It's a whole thing. So Superman's kind of the opposite of that. So it would make sense that the worst people would go after that sort of thing. But that's Superman. That's what he's supposed to be. He's a good person. People should try to be more like that. And I guess at the end, Supergirl shows up, which I was fucking amped for. I was like, all right, now we're talking. And I actually was like, okay, this is kind of a fun. Like John kind of talked about it when he was talking about the thing, but I didn't actually know she showed up.
I didn't either. That was a fun cameo because that is the next movie.
Yes. I have already ordered the comic because I was like actually intrigued by him describing it. I was like, actually, I want to read that. It sounds pretty cool. And looked it up, and that's coming hopefully next week. I'm into it. Like, she I was like, that seems like such a fun character, and like that's all right, I'm in. This is cool.
Yeah, I love how casual she is with Superman and
the dog. Like the dog tackles her.
And it's like, oh, this is why he's out of control.
Yeah,
she just lets him do this.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Thanks for watching him, bitch," and then just like walks out.
I was like, "This is great. This is perfect."
I don't know how I feel about having the next movie in this universe be another super Kryptonian centered movie.
I feel like,
but it sounds like it's going to be a very different.
Sure. Yeah. They've set it up. I'm wondering like where they would go after the Supergirl thing. Like what would you want to do? Would you go into the Green Lantern stuff? Would you go?
Because it seems too soon to do a Flash or a Batman. Because they've had movies recently.
Yeah,
I would prefer. If I had my druthers, it would be a Green Lantern movie, but it would not be a Guy Gardner centered.
No.
You
center it on like
either John or I wouldn't mind Kyle.
Yeah, but there's a lot of ways you can go with it, and just go with like the greater Green Lantern universe because there's multiple of them. I mean, they even kind of spell that out in this movie.
Yeah.
There's. Because like you're obviously setting up like eventually we're going to do Justice League. I'm guessing, right? Eventually we get there. Like
probably,
right?
I would imagine so, because I think the Justice Gang is like, yeah, and then eventually that's going to turn into the Justice League. And it's gonna. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to actually be the weird Justice League team from like the 90s, where it's like Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Guy Gardner, you know, like that team.
All right, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's I don't know. I'm fascinated by it. I feel like I've gotten on the ground floor of this, so I'll keep track of these movies.
Me too.
I'm way too late to the dance on Marvel. I'm like, that's too much catching up. I don't know if I have it in me, but like these, I'm like, I'm here now. Like, yeah, why not? I'll try to do my best to keep up on them now that I'm watching things again. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a show, Justin.
That's a show.
Yeah. You know where to find us.
Yeah,
we won't belabor the point.
Yeah, if you're still here, then yeah, you either watch Superman or you just don't give a shit. And And hey, I'm right there with you. There was a lot of times where I would just listen to movie spoilers, like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Just tell me what happens.
Yeah.
Honestly,
if you are still here,
yeah,
get at me online or in Discord and tell me the secret code phrase, Delaware. And I'll know that you actually made it to the end of this episode.
Why Delaware?
It's an old Mega 64 bit.
Okay.
Like old Mega 64, like original DVD Mega 64.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our theme song and artwork. Also, just a quick shout. Please come join the Discord, and especially if you like HoloLive, I would like more people to talk about HoloLive with in our Discord. I have David Portnov, who he was already a HoloLive fan, and the two of us combined have pulled Xrian down into the rabbit hole. So there's 3 of us in there now. I would like more, please.
Oh, that's fun.
But that's going to do it for this episode of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.